Map veto underway.
So let's see what those bans are. So Consulate is something that actually Liquid's pretty good at. Surprising to see that, but I imagine that's because Market also pretty good at that. Bank, a very popular Latin American map, so that is definitely a good one to ban against Liquid. Villa, a map a lot of people don't want to play, although I imagine we are going to see it a lot over this week. Coastline going, and then there's some good choices for those individual teams. Border is a good one for Liquid, and Clubhouse is definitely a good one for Market. It looks like, it does make it look like Coastline is for Market, but it actually is Clubhouse is the second map for them. That is a good one for them as well. So it has been a bit hit and miss. They have not won it every time they've played it, but they've lost Border every time they've played it. So that is definitely a better choice for them. So it is likely, depending on how the strats go in terms of what they've got differently, that it will go to their respective teams in terms of which maps are, you know, won by which team, which is basically what we saw in the Fnatic match versus Reciprocity earlier. But that did end up in Reciprocity or Fnatic's favor. So the question is, will it be Liquid? Or will it be Market, or will it just be a 2-0 and, you know, one team gets both maps? It's hard to say. I do feel like there's a very strong chance Liquid take Border, though.
Yeah.
Just because it is, I would say, they're stronger on Border than Market is on Clubhouse. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting, I think, to see how these two face off, and if Market's managed to shore up a lot of the weaknesses that they've shown, or is Liquid just going to exploit those weaknesses because they haven't fixed them?
I feel like even if Market elect to play a little more aggressive on Border, and ladies and gentlemen, we are jumping in. Map number 1 between Liquid and Market live on Border, beginning now. Like I was saying, I believe even if Market try to bring out a more aggressive playstyle to kind of match Liquid's aggression early on, Border plays right into the wheelhouse of Liquid. This really does feel like it's going to be a strong map for Liquid. Market might be able to respond, who knows, but just based off of recent play, knowing the map, Market's going to ban it on Montaigne.
Interesting first choice. That is definitely something.
Yeah, I feel like there are other maps, or not other maps, other operators that you might want to pick first beyond a Montaigne, but he has been pretty dominant lately.
Yeah, there's definitely a reason for that. Most likely we'll see, as far as defenders go, both these teams tend to ban Echo and Mira. So we'll like to see those go, but it could be Glaznek. No, it's going to be a Thatcher going for Liquid. Well, that'll be interesting to see. And this is where we'll likely see that Mira or Echo, but they could change things up if they have different strats.
Probably both, honestly. There goes the Echo, and I imagine we are not going to see a Border with Mira on it, so.
Yeah.
Round out the bans with a Mira as the final operator, most likely. It'll be Market's choice, should they choose to, and there we go. That's both of them. We talked about it before we even went live, that both of these teams really, really love banning out Echo and Mira. It's usually both of their top defender bans, so no shock they both get taken out and each team is happy with it. And it's an odd scenario in which both teams walk away with their preferred banned operators.
Yeah. I'm almost surprised that that Liquid didn't go for banning Ying, but we'll see. So actually it looks like Liquid going to be the one to potentially abuse the Blitz if they stick with that. Both these teams also tend to enjoy playing Dokkaebi, so it's definitely something we might see. But if there is Gohan making the switch there, so it will not be the Blitz. It will be a different B-named operator. But we will, of course, be starting on Armory Lockers. No surprise there. So.
Common ban in Latin America on Border, however, is a buck, and that's interesting that Liquid has let that through as well, taking out the Thatcher of all things. Thatcher on Border. So
far, historically, they've mostly banned just Glaz on Border, but I guess they decided they just don't want to deal with making it easy for them to take Armory. Well, this is interesting. This is a lot of downstairs defense for Armory. Like, they're really setting up downstairs in terms of a lot of reinforcements, a lot of potential utility dedicated. This is very different. And it's a case where Liquid could just be like, that's fine, we'll just take the top floor. Because the thing is, as a defender downstairs, Pulse is okay from fighting his way up, but the rest of the operators generally are not very good fighting upwards because you have to use stairs to get up, whereas the attackers do not. So this does, I would think, give attackers a huge advantage. I'm really curious to see how this goes, because this looks a lot more like a Vents defense than an Armory defense, despite where the bomb site's at. We're definitely seeing something different here.
Well, the focal point most likely will be Kryn on the Pulse, as he that cardiac sensor relaying the majority of information to his teammates up top, just kind of relaying where the push is coming from, how many are stacked to which side, which angle they're favoring, who among those players on either side are stacked with who. And then, of course, having a nitro cell. Late round, monumental piece of utility. And it looks like the first member of Maka will get droned out. The second one as well. Kryn and Rips both with the UMP brothers inside of Vent and Workshop with a rotate through. A skeleton key from Gohan. Rip open the wooden barricade. And Paula angling in from outside. The F2, probably one of the most dominating weapons on the attacking side or in the entire game as a whole. Angling down and bearing down against a couple of UMPs stacked inside of Ventilation and Workshop. It's going to come down to positioning and accuracy for those UMPs to try and survive the onslaught of that F2, even if Paula just decides to randomly pre-fire a wall.
I mean, honestly, if I was Liquid at this point, just come in, take the top floor, take the stairs. Just secure the stairs, and then what are they going to do? They can't rotate up very effectively. Then if you control those stairs, get the wall open, and there's just not a lot they can do to get you, especially if you've got the Dokkaebi as well to make those phone calls. I mean, yes, they have the pulse, but there are ways to try and play against that. You could try and bait out that C4. It's, I don't know, this is, again, this is an interesting defensive strategy, and I really want to see if this works or not, and what really this is meant to do, other than maybe keep Pulse alive longer. But that's a lot of utility dedicated to just keeping a Pulse alive, just to maybe stop a plant that could even come down into different areas. Let's say if they take from offices to archives. But in the meantime, Nesk has taken control of CCTV. Palette is still working on this window. There's a ping gone out onto the, I believe that's the castle.
Yeah. Jumping into the ventilation window will be Paula, but oh, what a great shot from Kryn as his phone rings out and he'll have to back off deeper on the escape. Gohan trying to fill in now as Paula was felled. Now, there's only 45 seconds left and the armory wall has been opened up now by Zig, but Nesk holding on any rotations inside of break room, waiting for rotations towards the metal stairs, but none such. You still have Kryn downstairs with the cardiac sensor and the nitro cell. He can stall out plant basically on his own. It'll be up to Gohan holding flank downstairs to try and dispel that opportunity. And Zig taking diffuser down main hallway now as it looks like everyone on Liquid are trying to initiate a full rotate over into archives as there's nothing there to stop them, but 20 seconds remaining. It has to be a swift and accurate execute, but Veil and Rips will rip straight through Sexy Cake and Gohan. Another one coming up the main stairs. Nesk will grab the first kill for Liquid in this match. Trying to angle in for a second one, but he's now left alone as Veil will shred through Zig and Nesk will fall. It's a quick and decisive round there for Mocket. After a lot of waiting around from Liquid, it all comes down to the last 40 seconds, and it's Mocket taking it away in spades.
I'm still a little confused as to how that worked. It was sheerly won on gunfights, and Liquid's just confusion. I mean, I got to imagine Liquid looked at that, they were like, what is this setup? Where is everyone? Why are they not upstairs? Why are there people downstairs? Why are there two people trying to defend inside with all this reinforced wall? I mean, I don't know if that would work a second time, but just sheer confusion and just gunfights won. I mean, Pala coming in, he absolutely should have won that gunfight. He lost it. I mean, the F2 losing to the ump, it just seems a little odd to me. And it could just be Liquid still warming up, but Pala really should have come in there, guns blazing, should have been able to win that. Drones should have known the positioning. It seems a bit odd, but kudos to Mocket on pulling off a very strange defense and winning it for what I doubt will be repeated, because I don't think there was anything they were doing that was so extravagant that they would just be like, wow, this is the new meta, everyone should be doing this. So we'll see, though. They are going to have to switch bomb sites, and now they will definitely be down at Vents, as that is now their bomb site. Obviously, they dedicate similar amounts of utility to it. Castle going to still be in play here. So we'll see how well they'll defend the top floor now is the real question. Are they going to be able to stop Buck from getting there and starting to tear up the floor? Are they going to be able to stop Pala from coming in and doing some serious damage with the F2? They also have smokes in play from Sexy Cake, but they do have Maestro's Evil Eyes to be able to see through that. They may also even have a bulletproof camera from Castle, depending on whether or not they go with impacts or bulletproof cameras on him, but that will definitely help in stopping Sexy Cake from being able to just abuse smoke to make those plans happen.
The last round for Liquid really seemed like a lack of initiative on their push downstairs. They really wanted to clear out Kryn and Rips downstairs, the UMP tandem, and there was just never initiation of a push up until the last possible second. So it'll be up to Liquid to try and get themselves some initiative, some reason to push on, and some early energy, honestly, because that seemed very lackluster on the effort side of Liquid on that round. It seemed like it should have been a clear victory for them. They had the positioning, and Mocket, like you said, were playing a strange setup.
Yeah.
But it works out off of Liquid's indecision. And a minute left, and again, we have a lot of Liquid players with ACOGs just staring at doors, waiting for Maka to make the first move. And granted, Maka have a history of being a little more aggressive on border. Yeah. However, that is just not the case right now. They're playing quite standard.
Well, they did lose the batteries. They've still got 2 left, which he didn't use any on the wall, but that was the wrong wall to choose. He's just going to have to back off it and play an angle on it. No, actually, it looks like the impact tricked it. Nicely
doing that
done.
Last round, too.
Yeah, that's definitely something that is really invoked moment. There goes both of the exothermic charges. Well played by Maka. Great job installing this out now. Both those walls now electrified. There is no second hard breacher of Havana, and Gohan is going to finally punish Rips. But it's a little late. They have definitely lost their main thrust of their attack. They're going to have to rotate Gohan, taking a little bit of run-out damage. He is at least close enough to the roof to repel away, though. Unfortunately for them, no punishment coming out, though, on the defenders. And they're just measuring that aggression. A minute left here means it's now on Liquid to try and rotate. But that's going to be read into, right? You know they're going to make that rotation. All Maka can have to do is rotate in kind.
Ooh, a great rotation there, but a team kill. Ness grabs it onto Kryn, but Zig will put a bullet in the back of the head of his teammate. So leveling things out and actually keeping the man advantage for a moment will be Liquid, but Zig on low HP. KS as well is taking a little bit of damage from inside the site as that smoke. Trying to repel the entry here of Team Liquid as they have 35 seconds to convert from a top clear down to a site execute. They're still ripping up the floor and trying to displace some of these anchors, get them out of these favorable and very strong positions that are well known inside of Workshop. And KS turning his attention back towards the bottom of metal stairs, towards the main hallway. And Vale's taking a little bit of damage, but a great flank here from Corey. He'll level things at 3v3 with 15. The phone ringing out. And another one, no one looking towards main lobby as Corey is given free reign to roam. And that will be the diffuser lost in main lobby. This is a useless round for Liquid unless they frag out. Paula will grab one onto Vale, but time ticking away. Pre-fire for Corey. All he has to do is even stall time at this point. Paula can't get into the objective, and Gohan has been downed. Corey wins it out. A beautiful 3K from the Bandit on the flank, and Mocket quickly take a 2-0 lead.
Well, definitely Mocket just really still continuing to catch Liquid off guard, who do not seem prepared for this style of defense. But it was also down to really good defense of the wall. I mean, Bandit missing his battery on the correct wall, but then impact tricking. They didn't expect kind of the double tricking going on. Usually you're doing one or the other. The fact they were able to pull that off, very impressive. Mocket are definitely showing something that we're not used to seeing from them, and I think a bit of creativity and very much playing differently than Latin America do. We'll see how their Bathroom Tellers defense goes, though. This is really where it's going to get interesting, I think, for Liquid, because this is just one that you don't see very often. Sexy K get a sneak in the Ying, though, to make this happen. I gotta imagine they're thinking it's likely to be Customs Tellers, though, and might be preparing the Ying for that to help try and take the top floor into CCTV. But that's not necessarily going to be the case. They're not going to be able to do that the same way, but still going to be useful if they want to take the top floor in terms of taking offices and using the Candelas for that. So still going to be beneficial for Sexy Cake to be on that, but now they've given up their smokes. So hopefully they didn't need that for the plant, and instead it might just go in for a bit more of aggressive play, try and clear the room, get some control. But I don't know if this is really the bomb site they're expecting to be fighting. So that top floor control going to play a little bit differently, but it is still the same theory of take top floor so you can plant below.
Well, an operator swap up coming out for Liquid as Sexy Cake will be picking up the Ying, an operator that we haven't seen any of so far today, which is a little surprising, to be honest. Her dominance and especially the aggression from teams that we expected to be seeing, not really there for the most part. Like we said, a lot of these attacking sides have been extremely tentative, and it's the hesitation of the attacking sides that really seems to be the culprit into why they're losing so many rounds.
Yeah.
It feels like they are honestly playing extremely safe, although here's one defensive long shot there. I believe that was by Kryn with the UMP from Supply Room. One shot will land on the backside of Gohan, but he'll back away to safety with no trouble caused past that.
I feel like they're definitely messing with Liquid. It's the case where they're making some runouts, they're doing some different plays, really confusing the way they play, and taking advantage of that. I mean, you gotta appreciate the psychological mind games potentially coming out here from Mocket, really throwing Liquid off of their attack. And attack does require a lot more confidence than Liquid are showing. Like you mentioned, they're kind of hesitating a lot on some of these attacks, and I think that is benefiting Mocket quite a bit. This could be a round where they, Liquid maybe changes things a little bit because it's a hard one, but Crane just absolutely putting hurt on Ness is not going to help that.
Outside of Archives is Grim with the UMP on the castle. And he'll back off a little bit as the first Toxic Babe comes out from KS to stall out any refrag attempt. But now taking a lot of damage over inside of Office. A vault in here from Poly into Archives, and Zig following up. They have one man on the main stairs on Metal to worry about, and that's Rips on the Jaeger. Looking to make the flank, and Zig covering it for now, and Paula again, slow on the entry to push through. Has barbed wire to clear and waiting for the secondary push. Creating another one onto Zig on 10 HP or so. Through the rotate hole, Sexy Cake will trade out Rips on the main stairs. That was the intention of the flank gone. And now with 75 seconds left, the last Toxic Bay will be used from KS, and it'll repel Liquid if only for a moment. But the Office's breach coming from Liquid seems to be in full force.
Well, we'll see if they're able to turn that one kill into a bit more of a push, because Cryon's still being allowed to live with such low health here is really not working out. They do at least have the diffuser, but again, look at this hesitation from Sexy Cake. Not really sure how to play this. Too worried about crossfires. He is finally going to get in KS though, going to trade that back, punish it, trades and trades and trades.
He's going to leave Sexy Cake alone as he uses the Candelas, but even possibly while blind, we won't even know. But KS, 6 inches away from a Candela, is turning away. Guess he was good. SMG-11 straight to the face. So that'll initiate a timeout for Liquid, tack timeout for the Latin American squad, who are down 3-0 currently on Border.
Honestly, it seems like a good time for a timeout to go. Like, what we're doing is not working. What Market are doing is throwing us off. Now's the time to really think about it. You see the coach getting down there explaining what they need to do differently, thinking about, I got to imagine it's down to explaining how they should be taking map control. Like, he is taking the time to really look at what a Market are doing, saying, here's the way you guys need to start approaching this so you can get a foothold and stop getting picked off one at a time as you go in. Just kind of confused as to what's going on.
That's how you know a coach is upset too, when they get low down, like when they bend over and
like
they
you're
just
a child.
They like their automatopoeia matches their body movement. Like their syllables are lining up with their hand motions. Like when we get upset about stuff, we do that too. Absolutely. You can tell Silence is not exactly the happiest human being right now. And it's showing. Liquid down 0-3 currently on Border to Mocket. And I don't think there's, with all due respect to Mocket, I don't think there were a lot of people predicting this start being this hot for Mocket.
No, and it's definitely working out good for them, because you need to start like this. You need to really kind of get on the right foot for a team that is considered kind of the underdog in this match. You need to put the fear into them just to make them really question everything they think they know about you.
So back to Armory Lockers and Archives we go. Mocket running the gauntlet so far on Border and being successful at all 3 stops. They return to the primary objective, and Kryn again jumping over to the Pulse. This time on a 6-pick, so it will be concealed at least through reveal phase, and also a 6-pick from the Dokkaebi to the Zofia. So our first Zofia of the game will also be picked up from Sexy Cake, and it's been a carousel of operators so far for Sexy Cake. Not a lot of stability on one specific role. He's been thrown into a few already, and it's only been 3 rounds heading into the 4th now.
That is always how it is with him. Once they brought him onto the team, he was by far the most flexible player. He was always one playing the new operators, playing the different roles, playing the unique things. He's the one to play Clash, things like that. And he continues to be a vital part of Liquid in the sense of, like, if they need something weird to be played in a different way or do some kind of interesting different strategy, he is always the go-to guy for it. And that's why you always see him on 6-picks. He is playing that flexible role, like, we need this, okay, Sexy Cake's the one to take it. Cryon 5 kills already, just out of these 3 rounds. Definitely working for his team here. And like I said, he is the top-rated player on the team, and you can see why.
Last time around, it was Liquid attempting to go for an Armory wall push, and then in the last 20 seconds, attempting a full site attack rotation to go for a seemingly empty Archives. So if you're Liquid in that scenario and your Silence is the coach, you really got to kind of tell the guys, you made the right decision, you just did it a minute late.
Yeah.
You got to kind of clue into that a little bit faster. Whoever's IGLing that, whoever is calling for the push, because it could be someone other than the IGL who's calling the actual direction of the push. Someone's got to speak up.
Yeah, some teams kind of have sub IGLs too.
Yep.
People that make the calls when someone else is busy, or if they see something that's important information, they'll make a call out. Just in terms of, this is what I see, this is what needs to happen to support me or someone else. And that's definitely important. Again, with the Evil Eye right there, that's something we saw Nesk take out last time. I'm surprised he's not shooting that. He's so focused on the impact tricking And we're seeing so many teams get way more creative with impact tricking this particular spot. It's interesting to see.
Ooh, Paula just missing, surprisingly, every single bullet onto KS. He'll live to fight another day and possibly impact trick once again. And more aggressive peeks coming out towards this tiny, tiny hole in the side of the wall there, but Paula will finally claim his first victim with that monstrous F2, and it will be Rips, the Jaeger that was peeking from metal half wall, and Nesk is just gonna fall straight into the small office. He'll be able to down and finish off KS with the hip fire, still positioned strongly inside of the small office. The pre-fire of Paula will pick up his kill for him, shooting the Nitro Cell out of the air and still blasting on through with the R4C. Mag dumps into the corner, and it's Kryn alone, and Archives in a 1v4. The plant going down, and Gohan will clean things up in a Kryn as he tried to narrowly escape out through Fountain. A good cut off there from Gohan as he sledges into the back of Fountain, and there's no escape for Kryn, and Liquid, after the timeout, will bounce back with a very strong, aggressive, poignant round win.
And I think that was what I was talking about earlier on, was that confidence and the aggressive pushes, because they're not setting up a huge amount of defense in a particular area. They're just really focused on just kind of keeping Liquid at arm's length most of the time. And because of that, Liquid finally were like, wait, we see some weaknesses here. Let's just charge straight into them. And part of that was letting Nesk's drone just sit on that windowsill. Nesk completely capitalized on that. He's like, okay, well, I know I can just, he's not paying any attention to me. He is absolutely focused, laser focused on guarding that hole in that doorway into armory lockers. Because of that, I'll just run and shoot him in the back.
Well, it was a strong initial start there from Mocket, but stopping the bleeding momentarily will be Liquid, and they'll try to bring it back with a little more aggression again, as it'll be a reattempt of Armory Lockers and Archives for Mocket on their 5th defensive round. One more before we head into the second half and team swap side.
Interesting, they are going to bring the Ying, but at this time it's Gohan taking it.
Yep.
60K did tease that blitz, but he is 6 picked off of it. So they are looking, I think, perhaps for a little more stun effect this time. You're going to get the lifelines going into stun combined with the Candles. And again, we are seeing this heavy bottom floor defense that we saw the first round for this Armory Lockers. Will it work a second time? Still kind of curious on whether or not this is something that Liquid can pick apart, especially if someone like Paula can get it and actually get the kills onto the players in the workshop and servers area.
It was also interesting to note that Kryn wasn't playing downstairs as the Pulse last round, and if he had been inside of server, or sorry, underneath the server hatch by workshop, probably would have been able to spot Nesk going up metal stairs and cardiac sensor and, you know, keep KS alive.
Yeah. It is ironic because we did see him last time when he was playing downstairs come up metal for a kill. It's definitely something that could happen, but I imagine Nesk is going to be, again, looking for opportunities. He's looking for any kind of weakness so he can just dive straight in as the spearhead, get some kind of map control, get at least one entry kill, and everyone's going to immediately turn to him. He's going to get the kill. Everyone's suddenly going to focus on him, and if they time that right like they did last time, then the rest of the Liquid, especially players like Paula, can come in strong, throw that in some Candelas with that as well, and it could be a very quick execute again. But look at this, you see these castle barricades. Nesk completely unsure how he wants to attack this, but he does have 2 remote breaches. He could open both those castle barricades. There goes the first one. Reloading, could be going for the second one. Nope, he's gonna just open the wall instead.
Opening up a lot of purview into the depths in the back by Mattress inside of Workshop, and Kryn holding out on a pixel angle momentarily, waiting for Nesk to cross his line of sight. Lots of yellow pings coming out everywhere. I think it's just Corey saying, I've got your door, through the kill holes in the floor. And now it looks like he's repositioning, so he's telling him, I've got impact hole now, you got door. Rip's holding out in behind the server rack as well. Yeah, Corey's covering door now. It's going back and forth in between door, but Nesk not falling for it one bit as you'll be able to take down Kryn. You still have Rips downstairs playing over by the server rack as well, but 80 seconds remaining as a decent amount of time has been burnt, but you've lost the Nitro Cell in the process, and that's your most lethal portion of utility that is placed downstairs, and Vale will be able to trade out Zig momentarily, bring it down to a 4v4 outside of that armory wall. The diffuser is down, they can't breach the wall any longer. 60 seconds tick away. You still have a man downstairs, and Liquid losing that pressure and aggression they had earlier on.
Well, that diffuser just sitting there like that is going to be a big problem, but I think he's just waiting for the moment when Paula has taken that control below. Again, there's another castle barricade right there, but Nesk is slowly creeping in on Rips. Unfortunately, loses the fight, and Corey gets one as well.
Circles around, here come the Candelas, and it looks like Vale was completely blind, not a hope in hell of seeing anything. KS, though, from inside locker sandwich, whipping up the shotgun, and he'll lead it up with a double kill to round things out. KS puts Mocket back in the driver's seat after Liquid again go back to their stalling ways.
That really should have worked out much better for Liquid. They did a fantastic job of capitalizing on the weaknesses they saw. But it was the mid-round that really killed them. Once the trade started coming back, once we saw, for example, the Maestro getting the kill, and the fact that they weren't able to completely take advantage of the push they made. So Ness got the 1 kill, and then they just kind of stalled out for a bit. Like you said, they came in aggressive again with the Candelas. That should have been where they cleaned it up, but they didn't drone it effectively enough to be prepared for that shotgun and sandwich. It was just, again, Liquid are doing a better job, but they're not doing a good enough job. Now they're down 3 points in a 4-1 situation against the underdog team just by purely underestimating these defenses. And I gotta say, I really am impressed by Mocket. The way they're holding things is just so different than we're used to seeing. And it's really like they're almost catching Liquid in these situations where any of their pushes, they don't seem to be able to turn those into map control enough. And they're always traded out. And we're seeing especially the Maestro as well. For example, just being able to hold them back very effectively. And it takes Candelas just to be able to take him down.
Well, in recent history, we have seen a game like this on Border then turn into a tie. And that was SSG against Rogue in North American Pro League earlier on this season. It was a 5-1 split in favor of Rogue on their attacking side. And once they swapped to the defense, SSG pulled the same thing against them. This time, it's the defensive side of Mocket prevailing, and quite profusely, honestly. Up 4-1 currently, possibly going to be going 5-1 on the split.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. This is definitely going to be, again, the downstairs defense, something they have won before, but I imagine this should be Liquid a lot more prepared. They should take that top floor, should do some top floor down pressure. This should work out a lot better for Liquid. It's just, again, the unpredictability of Mocket that's really costing them. Liquid need to play slow at first, but absolutely need to execute swift again like they've been trying to do the last couple rounds, just with more confidence and more drones.
See Ness lining up outside of the break room door now. Drone's coming through. He's going to be droning himself in, and now Rips retaliating with a little bit of fire in through that soft wall, and it's that top control again coming out for Rips and Corey upstairs playing inside of Armory, the small office. You also have Kryn over by Archives. Strong setup top side, and KS taking a lot of damage on the objectives. Looks like Nesk is a little more site-centric on the push, but Nesk will fall to Corey. He'll use the Nitro Cell to open up the CCTV hatch. He's got one on drone inside a detention doorway. No clue that hatch has been opened up, and now Paula angling in, waiting for Corey. A few inches to the left, and he'll have the headshot lined up, but no connection just yet as Corey playing in behind the circle monitors, and oh, as he tries to escape back to Armory, Sexy Cake will cut him down from behind on the flank. Reestablishing control up above and making sure that Paula and Zig trying to push in through customs and detention won't have any resistance to face from above. Kryn and Rips upstairs still holding down Armory with that top control. They do have some kill holes in the floor, just as they did last time around, watching doorways, watching possible impact holes that will be opened up. Paula slowly making sure that Vale hasn't moved, and I don't think he was aware that the left-hand side of his wall had been ripped open to that degree, because he exposed himself quite mightily to a left-hand flank. And the head just below his purview, in behind the mattress and the desk at the back of Workshop. He keeps confirming this on the drone. The pre-fire can connect on the shoulder, but cannot land the devastating and final lethal blow. Ducking deeper into the depths of the corner now is Vale underneath, constantly on ping. Just a wave of drones non-stop, and he'll finish it off with the revolver, so a man advantage established now for Liquid as we enter the last 35 seconds, and KS debating whether or not to go for the hallway flank. Pressed right up against the edge of the ventilation door as the rest of the push starts collapsing down main lobby. It's a full horizontal take. One man going for the flank upstairs, but Rips will read that beautifully and shut it down. Sexy Cake with no top control. We get to Liquid to push horizontally in towards the objective and clear out the anchors, and KS's shoulder giving his position away. Paula rips straight through him with the F2. Going upstairs for top control now with Paula as they get upstairs. They got two up top and Zig planning from down below. Kryn, the last man alive, in a 1v3. Zig pulled off and will go for the reattempt now, heading over to the Workshop, looking through the kill holes. Can't see the man with the diffuser, and Mag spike dumping to no avail. No bullets connecting. Kryn on 10 HP. We'll have to dance around and try and go for a full rotation. A 1v3. 3 to find. Holland, extremely high health points compared to him.
I believe he could do this. If anyone could pull this off, it's Kryn with such low health and such little time.
Smart play to knife the Claymore, make the least amount of noise possible as he's slowly rotating in towards main lobby, coming through the double door, and he's got one directly on his right inside of Customs. It'll be Zig to close things out. And Liquid stave off the 5-1 split. They at least bring another one back into their... Wow, okay. Zig with a great one tap there.
Why not?
That'll end the half for us. A 4-2 split in the favor of Mocket on their defensive side. Mocket will now have to head to the attack, and it'll be up to Liquid now on their back foot. Try and bring this back in their favor on the defensive half.
I mean, that was definitely a much better round for Liquid. They seem to have finally learned, hey, they're on the bottom floor. We could probably just attack the bottom floor. Their one attempt upstairs didn't work out so well, but either way, Liquid managed to adapt, but it was too little late because now they switch sides. Now they're going to have to play very differently than before. I'm really curious to see how aggressive Mocket bring this, because they are bringing the Dokkaebi and the Ying, which makes me think phone calls, smoke, Candelas. Let's go for that plant that they've been doing so successfully. Well, somewhat successfully in Pro League. It's something that can very easily be punished and has been, but there's not a lot of trap operators in play to slow them down. I mean, I guess at least the Evil Eyes will help stop that potentially, but it's the C4 that I would worry about most, I think, at this point, if you're Mocket.
Paula going to be carrying one of those nitro cells. Gohan with the possibility to do so. I don't really see why you wouldn't, as the other option is a bulletproof camera, and you've got the Maestro at your disposal. So just waiting to see how the rest of this setup will take, and really what Mocket want to do on the attack. We haven't seen a lot of Archives pushes.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that are pretty typical when you really feel like you can't push through the wall. And that was definitely something that, you saw the impact tricking combined with the bandit battery tricking.
Paula with a deployable shield, so there goes one of your nitro cells.
Again, like we were talking about with Magnet earlier, that's possibly a questionable move there, but I guess if you really need it and no one else is going to bring it.
I mean, you probably could have brought the deployable on Nesk if you really wanted a deployable that bad.
It's too bad they can't throw an exploding deployable shield just in case. Maybe that would help.
Just in case.
Yeah, you never know. It's a backup, right?
Yeah, I mean, you've got 6 barbed wire as it stands right now, unless Zig also brought a deployable. But yeah, Ness bringing the barbed wire. Sexy Cake most likely has the barbed wire unless he's impact tricking. Like, there's certain variables that could be accounted for as to why Paula's the man to have the deployable, but typically there are other options you can make. You don't want to sacrifice the lethality and the range that you have, especially with plant denial as a Valkyrie.
You could have had Jaeger bring it.
Yeah.
Because the barbed wire is not going to be as powerful as the C4.
Yep.
Especially in situations like where Paula's playing, where C4 over the top of that shelf can definitely work.
Waiting for this setup outside of break room now as we get pretty deep into the attacking round now, and it's a full armory wall take right now for Mocket as the Mute Jammers are stalling out Veil momentarily. You can see the impacts coming out down below from Corey, trying to get rid of those, and it will be successful. So, far left side at a crouch height will be opened up by the Thermite of Veil. So Mocket at least have some penetration into the reinforcements that Liquid have set up for this armory wall take, but at a 5v5 and not a lot of control of the map outside of CCTV and break room, this could be extremely difficult for Mocket to push in with any kind of confidence.
I like that the Thermite, instead of focusing on half wall, is focusing on the super tight angle in a small office. More often than not, you see them trying to focus on half wall, trying to fight those angles and make for peaks, but instead they're fighting like these more tight angles. Corey as well trying to cover his round from here, looking for the opportunities. Does see Evil Eye. He does not have any lifelines to take care of it, though. He can't exactly throw a breaching charge. He doesn't even have to catch that arm. Rips does it, and Veil going down with the diffuser. Unfortunately, doesn't finish it.
Can't get the plant down, and stalled out from the shotgun from below, and Gohan's now been down, so it's Nesk in a technical 1v3. If you discount the downed members as they are cut off from multiple angles, and KS will clean up the down, and Veil's actually been revived now with diffuser. Pushing into small office was Kryn as he made his way up metal stairs. Nesk will fall, and it's Mocket continuing their winning ways from the first half, up 5-2 on border. Again, a result so far that I don't think many out there had written down as a prediction.
Well, not to mention, this is Liquid's map. and one that they're very good at, one that Maka have not proven to be good at so far in terms of their Pro League record. They have lost it both times they played it. So it's just, this is an interesting choice, and both times they lost it, it was a 5-7. So they, I guess, didn't lose it too badly.
Games, yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely looking like, if anyone's going to get the 7 so far, it's looking like Mocket. Even once they switch sides here, they also are bringing this Yingen. It's just, I don't know, it's interesting to see this working out. Though, despite losing the top floor, they are going to switch bomb sites, even though they could stay up there. Deciding, let's change things up to ventilation, but the way that Mocket are playing, I'm not sure this will make a huge difference in their defense unless this just turns out to be a much better defense all around, or at least they're able to play a little more constrained. But the thing is, in many ways, this is a worse bomb site because for a couple reasons. One, you have to split your defenders up generally. Two, if you lose top floor control, which you almost always will, they can now use that against you as opposed to just typical map control in horizontal sense where they can fight you. But in this case, they have advantages in doing so because they can fight you in many ways better than you can fight them. But the upside for Liquid is that there's no buck or sledge being brought by Mocket, so they will have to use potentially breach charges to open the floor.
There's a decent amount of options for breach charges actually on the Mocket side. So Corey is not bringing any. He's got the Claymore, but there's Kryn, and Rips has the possibility to as well in the Ying. Not sure if he has, but the Dokkaebi will have Claymore or smokes, and the Thermite will have Claymore or flashes. So possibility of 6 breaching charges versus a skeleton key if you wanted to bring a buck instead. Pretty much the same amount of destruction, honestly.
Yeah, and in some ways safer depending on how you play it.
You don't think you're sacrificing between the buck then is the frag grenades really in the difference, and then
yeah, that's true.
The advantage of having the C8 over the T95 on Ying.
Yeah,
I'd much rather be bringing a C8.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, I mean, there's some people that struggle with it still, though. While it is a great gun, not everyone can control it as effectively. But we'll see how they're able to pull this attack off in terms of they are still going to be opening up some of the floor there you see with the lifeline. But you got to be very cautious with the utility because the big difference between something like Ashe and Zofia, and Ashe is something that Corey plays a lot, is your utility matters a lot more as opposed to your just fragging power. But the M762 is still a very, very strong gun.
Seems like Mocket have identified a weakness in the hold right now for Liquid, which is that there is no one playing bathroom and the walls are soft. This is easy for Corey to pop open with the last remaining impact on the lifeline. Open up a nice kill hole with great visibility towards the depths over by the server racks and server desk of the A-bomb inside of Workshop. And it looks like everyone from Mocket now will start stacking for a bathroom side take. Stun canisters come out on the lifeline. KS holding flank as 6K is still above using the shotgun pre-made holes. It's a Cold War upstairs. No one really jumping in on the engagement. Both members on either side hit the deck, but Paula will be worse for wear in the engagement. However, he's a doc, and he can stim himself right back up inside of Customs.
Nonetheless, though, that was definitely a fight that put Paula off of position, and they already kind of knew someone was in bathroom, so it didn't really work too much against Corey, who's been just given so much control by being able to play here. And there we go, a few more shots onto Paula, who's now having to use a little bit of vertical elevation to keep himself safe from those footholds.
All the smoke's coming out, and here come the Candelas being flown in now by Rips, and you can see Corey trusting the angle, knowing he'll get it eventually. Rips shreds straight through Gohan as he tried to hold from the server desk. Prone on the floor is Zig. He'll get one before being felled, and it's all up to Nesk now in a 1v4. Plant gets completed inside of Workshop, underneath the Workshop hatch. This is a devastating position to be in. You still have one member of Mocket upstairs on the top control. Nesk indecisive in which way he'd like to go first to try and pick apart this 1v4. He needs to take the 1v1s, his most favorable engagements, try and isolate some of the members of Mock, but they have the top control, they have the destruction. He'll find an easy pick on a Veil, just not paying attention. He's got a monitor off or something, but rotating up onto the desk, it won't make much of a difference. Corey will put things on match point on border. 6-2 currently for Mocket.
I gotta say, overall, a very questionable defensive setup. Not only did they leave it soft, they set up footholds that Corey uses against the dock all the way across the map, and nothing done to counter it. It's just, they left everything open, and they sat in positions. They weren't going for great flanks. They weren't baiting Mocket into these great traps. They just sat there and took it, and took it, and took it until they just came in with the Candelas, planted, and Nesk, yeah, he got one freebie onto the sleeper on Mockit, but that was it. It's just...
I don't know, Vale forgot to, charge his mouse before the game or something. He was just static looking at a wall, but hey.
I mean, stats-wise, you might think that happens to him a lot. But it's the rest of the team just, like, okay, thanks for the free take, I guess. Like, I guess Liquid don't want to play Border anymore.
That's the big thing.
Look at the smiles on their faces, too.
He's having a great time. Everyone on Mockit's having a great time right now, and why wouldn't you be? It's 6-2.
Honestly,
you're the underdogs, and let's be honest, Mockit were extreme underdogs in this entire tournament coming in.
And again, this is a map that hugely favors Liquid. It was their map pick. They were the most prepared for it.
Mockit haven't won it at all yet this season. They've tried twice, granted close games, but...
And Liquid won it both times they played it. 7-5 against BD, 7-1 against Pain. Like, this is not a map they're bad at, but the way they're playing it, you would think so.
And Black Dragons is not a team to sleep on. Like, they're incredible right now for being on that bottom portion of the LATAM stack right now. They're, quite honestly, the 5th best team in Latin America. And
again, some of it is just Mockit's playing. Thank you for shooting the speaker.
Yes.
Someone is just, just Mockit in general is just playing this so differently than Liquid expect, and that's the problem with being such a isolated insular meta. Is sometimes you're just so unprepared to play other regions, and I don't mean the case that like Liquid haven't played other regions tons of times, but they're not playing them all the time, and Mockit are just playing a very strange setup in many ways, and I don't mean strange in like a bad way. I just mean strange in like it's not what you expect to see, and it's surprisingly working very well. I don't know why you thought you were gonna get that drone past him crying, but I guess try, you know.
The thing for me with Mockit is that they look like they're not getting caught up in the BS that Liquid are trying to bring. You know, that whole top floor hold last round, Mockit did not care. They had one guy flank hold, everyone else push site.
We talk about playing your own game, and that's exactly what Mockit are doing. They're just coming right in with Candelas. That's the way you take CCTV. Even gets the spray through the wall. He looks like downing him. Yep, finished it off too. So it's just, wow. This is almost awkward to watch. This looks like it's already over for Border the way things are going. Liquid are really going to have to bring something hard here to bring this back, because the only kill is onto KS, 50% damage to Rips, and that's not nearly enough because now they have a lot of map control. They've trapped the last 2 defenders on site, and they get, oh, look, Paula didn't bring C4 again.
Suddenly down to a 2v4 for Paula and Sexy K to try and work out of. Rips on lower HP and already utilizing some of his utility, but it worked out greatly for them. Showing out in spades, using the Candelas to jump in through CCTV and grab 2 kills, 1 through the soft wall in a rotation and 1 inside of CCTV. And like you said, no Nitro Cell on Paula, which means there's probably just 1 remaining on Sexy K if he hasn't already used it. He's playing shotgun point blank range on the armory wall. He does still have his Nitro Cell, so there are other options here. The Thermite Charge from Vale will open up the bottom right-hand portion of that armory wall once again, and looking through the tiny hole in the small office wall again is Sexy K, because he dives back and forth, just trying to evade common positions, because one pre-fire leaves Paula alone, and he's going to get caught out at Speak of the Devil from AC. A 1v4, Sexy Cake alone against the world. Here come the utility, and no, it's just going to be Corey jumping in. It didn't even require any utility whatsoever from Mockit on the push. The site execute, not important whatsoever. And Mockit will take map number 1 against Liquid, 7-2 on Liquid's pick. We now head into Clubhouse.
Yeah, that was almost embarrassingly fast. This is looking like Paris again for Liquid, where they are just not showing up the way we expect them to, and they seemed almost lost in that last round, just kind of sitting on something like, I hope they give something to us, because we don't know what's going on. I mean, there was like a minute spent where Mockit were just ghosts, nothing happening, and then all of a sudden Thermite opens the wall, and they're just like, where are they coming from? And then they like go to the archives wall, and it's like, oh, the window, oh no, I'm dead. You know, it's just, I don't know, that was just Liquid completely out of their element, only winning 2 attack rounds, not a single defensive round, where they should have had some kind of advantage. The coordination wasn't there, the calls weren't there. I gotta blame some of the IGLing as well, because they were just not making the calls they needed to be making based off the information they were getting, because I'm sure they were using drones. We just weren't seeing those turn into what should have been good executes. We saw the potential in the middle where they went for some of those, but let's take a look at some of the replays so we could see some of those moves. But it's just, they had potential moves that were working. You saw it from Nest right there. It just was so inconsistent.
Yeah, and I mean, this play itself actually from Corey that was just highlighted, I'm really baffled by that. How is Corey going to get a kill jumping over the banister into main lobby, sit in main lobby, and get another kill on a guy looking into the objective, looking the opposite direction of him? I'm a little confused by that. It seems like the communication for Liquid was just non-existent. They turned off their microphones, I guess. I
mean, the coach is there. It's not like there isn't someone there to be like, hey, you guys need to do this. And we saw that. We saw they had the timeout where the coach was talking to them, seemed to put some sense into them because they started winning for a second, and then it just slipped away again. And you only get one timeout per map, so he couldn't stop them. Like, what are you doing? Like, I just helped you guys fix this. What happened to that? But Market, whatever they were doing in terms of their communication, in terms of their attitude, maybe it was just this whole, like, we've lost before, you know what, let's just be unpredictable. Let's just do some things that are different. But I mean, I may be selling themselves a little bit short. They are very smart players. They are not just doing like, oh, well, let's do random stuff. It's just more like, let's really do something they're not expecting. That's something that obviously we weren't expecting as well. And it worked. It worked gangbusters. I am really curious how the second map's going to go, though. That's Mocket's pick. I mean, is this a map that they just gave to Mocket saying, we got our map, so it's fine? Or is it we're fine on Clubhouse as well? No problem. Let's go to there. I don't know if I'm not necessarily seeing a map 3 happening here the way that Liquid are playing.
I'm not.
And Latin America known for being emotional as well in terms of, you know, carrying over some of that emotion. They could go into the second map already feeling defeated.
You also got to talk about how the loser of this game will move on to face Mantis in the losers bracket of Group C. Mantis put up one hell of a show against G2.
Yeah, they definitely tried.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Liquid play like they are right now against Mocket,
the Mantis
should they lose
right back.
this, Mantis is going to the decider match on Wednesday. That is 100%.
Honestly,
sure.
I'm seeing like that's definitely a strong possibility the way things are going right now if Mantis keeps it up because, yeah, we're just not seeing Liquid really seeming like their heads are in the game.
No.
And Mocket are completely taking advantage of that because they're exploiting mistakes. They're forcing Liquid into mistakes, and Liquid are just biting because it's like this is not Latinum style play at all. And maybe they were expecting that because we were talking about that before the match, where Mocket had been playing this weird kind of aggressive style, and it's not here.
Yeah, it really looked like to the majority of Border, everyone on Liquid were sitting back. Like you said, they were sitting back and waiting for the aggression, and it wasn't that Mocket weren't bringing necessary aggression as a generality. It was more where the aggression was coming. All of Mocket were very site-centric throughout that entire game on their attacks. On their defenses, they really weren't all that scared of anything that Liquid were bringing, and they were willing to take the fight to them. But in the attacks, it seemed like everyone on Liquid were expecting an opposite of site clear. They were expecting like a map clear and then transition to a site execute instead of having one guy hold flank and everyone else site execute midway through the round.
Yeah.
It caught Liquid off guard evidently multiple times. It's the fact that they didn't adjust mid-game that is the real scary point for me for Liquid.
Yeah. And I got to imagine now's an opportunity for the coach then again to be like, okay, you know, we started making stuff work in the middle of that. Like, why did we lose that? What can we do on the next map? You know, these guys know what they're doing to an extent. They're very good players. They play very well. This is the only Latin American team to ever take one of these LAN finals.
Yeah.
They have the potential in them. They've got brand new good players on them that are very skilled. It's just, it's not coming together. And it's like, okay, we've got to start looking at what the other team's doing and stop letting them direct our gameplay. Because Mocket are just taking the reins. They're just, Liquid, you go over here. Liquid, you go over here. And Liquid are just like, and Mocket are exploiting that. And Liquid needs to be like, okay, they're going to play our game now. We are going to take map control like this. We are going to take this section of the map, and then we're going to kill them from there, or we're going to execute from there. On defense, they need to say, this is our section of the map. You are not coming in here, and if you do, you die. Those kinds of just definitive styles of play, rather than just being baffled by what the enemy's doing, needs to happen from Liquid. There needs to be that confidence. There needs to be that this is our game now. We need to turn one kill into another instead of just a singular one-off kill, or we need to trade off every time someone gets us, because that's not happening from Liquid either. So we'll see, though. At least we're going to get into the next map to find out soon here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are underway. Clubhouse, map number 2 between Mocket and Team Liquid. Mocket coming away with the victory on map number 1, 7-2 on Border. Like I said, very shocking result. And you want to talk about a team that basically had nothing to lose coming into Invite?
Yeah.
It's Mock It.
Well,
They've looked bad, and they were not predicted to do very well from pretty much anyone. And yet they just put a former Pro League champion firmly on their backside.
Yeah. And this will be interesting, too, because this is a map that Liquid have not played this season in Pro League. So there's less footage for Mock It to use, whereas Mock It have played it, and they have lost and won it. So it's been a bit of a mixed bag for them. Well, no, I'm sorry. They have just won it once, if I'm looking at that correctly. It was against Ents, so they are feeling confident, I imagine. But there goes the Thatcher and then the Maverick. So definitely, again, these targeted bans going up for Cash Room, as we've seen quite a bit today for Clubhouse.
Yeah, that's the third Mav on a Clubhouse that we've seen banned, and the second identical attacking bans on a Clubhouse today. Thatcher Mav earlier on today on a Clubhouse matchup.
Yeah, not a huge surprise there. No, I mean, when it was played by Mock It, they banned Ying and Mira. So, the Ying not coming out this time, so they're just a bit more focused on the Maverick because of the Thatcher ban. They want that Maverick gone. But Maestro, of course, going to be in play now that Echo is the one to take the ban, which surprises me because Maestro tending to be a bit more banned on this map a lot of the time. We'll see. They're going to start down in Church. That was not a huge surprise. So now that Liquid are starting on the defense here, we'll see if they can get a chance to kind of be a little bit more in that initial sense of control because they have some more time to collect themselves. But I don't know, Mock It could continue to exploit their momentum. Sexy Cake, though, 6-picking to the Clash, something that has had kind of mixed results for him in the past. It'll be interesting to see how this works on Church especially.
Well, Clash, obviously, with the newest update, her machine pistol has now gone from a 2-round burst to fully automatic. And let me tell you, that recoil is quite manageable, to say the least.
Yeah, it's definitely been interesting to see.
Bit of a game changer.
Yeah, it really can be, and we haven't seen Clash actually play today because it keeps getting 6-picked off of.
Yeah.
We'll finally see whether or not it actually has an impact, whether or not they're even going to run the shields in front of them. I was joking, I think it was with Fox earlier, about how now at this point you pretty much should run with it on your back, and you're just this running around with an F2 and a turtle shell essentially at this point. You know, just putting your back against the wall and spraying and holding angles. So I'm curious to see how Sexy Cake will play this.
5 seconds to insertion.
I imagine it'll be difficult, especially if he has any intention of playing over towards Armory, where he's headed, or was headed anyway, before he's dropping some barbed wire down the main hall. Considering Corey playing the Buck, will be able to completely eviscerate all floorboards inside of kitchens. So the depths of Armory, deep Armory, won't be all that accessible to Sexy Cake, considering that vertical lockdown, the shield won't reach all the way to the top, and his head will be exposed from multiple angles on the verticality. Nesk playing directly with him right now. Looks like they just want to use him as a mobile mirror and have Nesk peek out of it. I mean, there are good ideas, and then there's this one.
Well, I mean, it does allow you to roam a little more safely, but it's not like you're going to, you know, like a vigil play or something where you're going to hide from drones. They're just going to see you, and, well, now then they know what the plan is. They see the Clash, they see the Legion. The nice thing for them is the goo mines can be placed ahead of the Clash, so anyone trying to kind of push the Clash is going to be hit by goo mines that's going to distract them and give an opportunity then for Nesk to make that peek out. See, there goes one of the goo mines right there, but they've got to watch out for above them, and you see that's what's happening there. The destruction above forces, you were talking about, you know, the inability to cover your head. You do get a little bit of head coverage.
A little bit, but not
a lot. Yeah, it's not Monty style.
No. So now just ducking into the corner over by Kegs will be Sexy Cake as he tries to back off a little bit further. And the tiny little portion of the church wall will be opened up, and Corey staring through. No one playing directly on the church wall. There's no bandit. No one trying to bandit trick the church wall. We've just got mute jammers down from Zig, and I'm sure they'll be taken care of either with a frag grenade or Rips' Twitch drone waltzing its way in eventually.
I feel like they gave up the stairs way too fast. Like, what was the point of doing that? And you just give it up as soon as you're droned? Like, were you hoping they wouldn't drone? I don't know what the plan was there.
Well, looks like it's going to be a lot of people dropping into Moto here for a second. The diffuser gets dropped right above the Moto hatch. It'll be Vale jumping in first, taking down some barbed wire and slowing down now thanks to the Clash of Flashbang. Comes raining in. It'll completely blind Sexy Cake, and I imagine Gohan as well, who was trying to take that peek in tandem with Sexy Cake, slowing down Vale. But it's another one to come in. It's Rips this time as the Twitch. Nesk will shut down Corey, coming down the main stairs, all the way on top of the boxes on the B-bomb.
Yeah, you don't expect a position like that, and the combination with Gohan there, but Vale and Rips taking down 2. This is not looking great. In fact, almost a team shot there in the back of the head. This is starting to fall apart for both teams, really. A 3v3 now with 30 seconds left.
An overextension for Liquid might be their downfall here on round number 1, as that's your Clash and your Smoke, 2 of your biggest time delay operators. Smoke coming in from Crid now as he darts them across, but he's not aware of Zig playing close with the shotgun and blasts away 1, going for 2, but whiffing on the shot. Nesk and Paula, though, will be able to save the day as firing across the way is Neskin behind the bomb, and Paula had gone for a long flank upstairs above the Moto hatch to secure things. Liquid. Whew. That was almost another one that got away from them.
Yeah, that was definitely a close one there. The shotgun play, I mean, you got to expect it. That is weird to not be well prepared for that. You need to be pre-firing as you come around that corner, realistically, because who isn't going to take advantage of that shotgun angle that's kind of been the meta since, you know, forever, because shotguns have always existed in this game. Paula, though, actually going to bring something to try and roam a little bit more now that they can play Gym Bedroom with the Vigil, assuming he doesn't 6th pick away from it. Now it's going to be Gohan to use that to the mute, and that is going to help the Vigil potentially dodge drones a little bit longer. But, I mean, it's hard to say, because you're still going to give away your position a little bit with the strength of your signal jamming, similar to the way the mute jammers are going to be doing also. This is it's always interesting to see, like, how people play this, because a lot of Vigil players will actually just kind of stick near sight, but just make it so you can't be easily droned out, so they can't just put pressure on you because they don't know how you're playing the site. I'm curious how Paul's going to play. And he is actually surprisingly bringing the bulletproof camera rather than the impact nades, and already has set up that bulletproof camera. So they are going to have a little bit extra smoke coverage along with those Evil Eyes. So definitely looking to protect against that. But the only smoke coming out is going to be from the Capitao, as they're not bringing the Dokkan. There we go. A little bit of, as Parker would say, a log jam there. I feel like that's a Canadian thing. Is that a Canadian thing?
I don't know. It's familiar to me, but I'm also Canadian, so I...
That's why I'm asking you.
But it's familiar to me, so I don't know if it's...
Then it must be.
It's only a Canadian thing? Okay, cool.
There's no logs in America.
None?
No.
It's not a good thing.
Reloading!
Same identical operator lineup coming out from Mocket as they drop round number 1, and interesting pattern for the day. We saw it in our first game with Fnatic against Reciprocity. We saw it in the Empire against Immortals game, where the site rotation doesn't lead to CCTV being the secondary bomb site. It's Gym Bedroom for the 3rd straight game.
And Bandit isn't banned. Like, Bandit was banned before, so it was a lot more understandable. But it seems like teams are expecting to have to play Gym secondary, so they're just preparing for that and playing that rather than just being like, well, I guess Bandit's available, so we can still play him. They are still playing him, but for Gym Bedroom, they are, of course, losing control of the cache side fairly quickly here, as a lot of utilities being expended to make sure that happens. And I don't think that was quite the arc he was going for. He's going to go ahead and try and set that up a little bit better as the Kairos open up some of the floor. Just so much utility going in here, and all it's done is kind of push him out of the room. I don't think they're going to get this kill onto that Vigil anytime soon.
You can see 4 of the Hibana pellets were jammed, so only 2 were able to detonate. Unfortunate there, but an evacuation of cache. Gohan will rip off and won't try and hold out any longer, as Mocket will have a free entry in as soon as they can establish and communicate to each other. They do have that free entry, considering they can't get a drone in. But finally, the Mute Jammers will be picked apart one by one. More peeking coming from construction now from Liquid as well, as they try to provide a little more resistance of the entry, but now falling all the way back. Liquid going to play 5 on site as they back off into the depths. No one even playing in an objective right now. Closest man is Zig inside the bathroom. Other than that, not a lot of direct site control for Liquid.
Yeah, this is an interesting attack, because usually there's a lot more time focused on this outside area where it's headed down, and they're actually kind of approaching this late. They didn't spend a lot of time focused on either the hot tub wall or the window, but Corey getting an initial kill on Paula means that Vigil is going to be out of play. Now they're droning, a lot more effective in establishing the positions of the players, and Rips does see, can't really attack that gym side too well because of that deployable shield.
The deployable shield for Sexy Cake being the saving grace there, as he's able to hold his position firm. And oh no, looks like Zig might be the first one to overextend here. 30 seconds left, and he needs to put it on KS to be the man to push. Free fires abound and not really connecting, but Rips will find another victim, and there goes Ness. The Jaeger gone. Corey wide swings all the way over, but Sexy Cake with an M870, and Zig with all the levels things. KS is now down, pulling out the bailiff to finish it off. Sexy Cake with another one with the M870. It's all on to Rips suddenly. A 5v3 turned into a victorious round round for Liquid. A beautiful comeback of a round right there, and the M870 on Bandit. Not the most fashionable choice these days, but it works out in spades for Sexy K.
That's got to be the most M870 kills we've seen since, I believe it was Millennium playing Jaeger with M870 in Border on the Bathroom Tellers defense in the Castle Market. That's like the only time we ever really saw that ran very effectively. So already setting the record for 2019 in terms of M870 kills with 2. Sexy Cake playing it interesting. And we even saw, like you said, the bailiff. So that was very much a shotgun-heavy round for Liquid, and what looked like actually they were going to get torn up there from Rips. It just somehow that turned around very quickly. It's like they brought them into them, and the shotguns just did the rest.
I mean, a complete shotgun wipe of a round there for Liquid, and after a map like Border, I mean, how could you not love this start for Liquid now? And it seems like it's resiliency more than anything for Liquid. They've been down on man count on both rounds, I believe.
But let's be clear, this is defense on Clubhouse.
True.
And we have seen that consistently be a very effective thing today.
True.
So
Can't get too far ahead of ourselves, however, I really want to highlight that, though, because Liquid have been down on man count back-to-back rounds. I think it's been 3v5s both times.
But also shotguns have been somewhat the game changer both those times.
True, the close quarters combat engagements.
Yeah, it seems to be the weakness at the moment of Market, despite sometimes playing that Ying. Maybe they just need to do a bit better job of, they've got the Zofia, for example, get some stuns going around there. Some pre-fires come around the corners. They just maybe need to do a little bit better job of clearing those corners and making sure when they enter a room, it's with a bang, rather than just getting stomped by the shotgun pellets.
Well, it just feels like right now Liquid are playing a little bit smarter and honestly a little more urgency and a little more creativity. Throughout the entire lineup, it just seems like they're much more on point right now on Clubhouse, which is interesting because that's a map, like you said, they don't have any footage on so far this season in Pro League.
Well, that absolutely does not mean that they're bad at it.
Doesn't mean they're bad at it.
We saw it with Fnatic earlier and Villa, so.
Yep. And like you said, the defensive side obviously going to be favorable on Clubhouse, as that's been a common theme for a while now, actually, since the update to Club.
Well, this is a case where they are playing cash now, finally, and the wall just gets opened very quickly within the first minute, probably within the first 45 seconds. And this is where they start to put pressure on the top of Rafters now. Pala going to be playing up there with his Evil Eyes, but they can start to put pressure from the angles now through the window, through the wall, just try and hold him down and suppress him. But this is always difficult to deal with. They do have the ability to burn him out from below potentially with the capped out firebolts, which is something they can use against him, as you are allowed to use that through surfaces. They could potentially catch him that way, but it is most likely going to be down to utility plays. Sometimes the capped out firebolt just shot across. There it is right there. That is going to burn Paula down to very low health. He takes a few bullets as well. Vale finishes him off.
Good coordination there from Maka. Dispatch of Paula up on the rafters. One asphyxiating bolt and one crossfire is all it takes. I saw earlier on Rips just giving Zig a love tap in the knee. Grin will shut down Nesk, and another one for Maka as they all come piling in. Sexy K trying to hold as he's getting pinched from the upper side from Master by Gohan, so they'll have to retake in towards CCTV, but no ground gained there from Maka. They didn't take their advantage on a vacant site to try and press through and press their advantage, but they still have that Rafters control. It's still a 4v2 once again. We've seen a lot of man disadvantage round wins for Liquid so far in this match, both of them being so. And you got a 3-stack right now for Maka out on the CCTV wall balcony. Here comes Kryn dropping in all of his utility. The smokes displaying anyone being able to see from that stairwell, hitting the first Legion mine, and there goes Gohan lighting up KS, and a Nitro cell from Sexy Cake will connect on a Vale. That's the plant disrupted momentarily. Again, looking through the rafters, it's down to a 2v2. They're rushing the planter. The cover isn't sufficient. It finally will be 1v1 now, close range, but Rips on the turn. Oh my, the last second victorious bullet to put an end to the comeback from Liquid. Again, a 2v4, almost successful for Liquid.
Yeah.
Mock it, draw one back.
Rips just finishing checking his email just in time to get that kill. That was very close, though. It was definitely a case where they gave up way too many free kills to the Legion through the wall. It was, I mean, it was unfortunate for them, but the fact that they were able to pull it off, it was just down to timing. The fact that he was able to get off that time.
Did you like the voice crack?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I was doing my best impression of you, I'm sorry.
No, it was spot on, absolutely. I just don't, I mean, I don't scream as much, but otherwise.
Attack timeout, mock it.
Yeah.
That's a little early, don't you think?
You know what? It is the case of, like, this is their map. They're honestly looking at KS. It doesn't look like it's a timeout of, like, we're desperate. It's a timeout of, like, all right,
refocus.
What can we do? Yeah, refocus. What can we do here to close this out? We won map 1. Let's just knock this out of the park.
Yeah.
Attacks are going to be hard because this is Clubhouse. Let's get as many rounds as we can and then just destroy them on defense so we can just be done for the day. I mean, I got to imagine that's the way they're thinking right now, but they are going to go back down to church, which is something surprisingly they lost.
Well, I mean, the winner of this game will have a date with G2 tomorrow, and that's, I don't know, depending on how you look at it, that might be a fun time or it might be a terrible time.
Yeah.
Because you really got to question, I mean, it was Mantis really bringing the fragging power in that game.
Yeah.
A lot of structure was thrown by the wayside in that game against G2. So it's hard to gauge where G2's at. You know, we keep saying, you know, G2's been saving strats, G2's been saving strats, or they haven't been saving strats, they just suck right now. Who knows?
Absolutely could be a mixture of those
It could be a mixture of both. Like, it really could be both.
So Sexy Cake trying to pull off that same 6-pick to Clash again. Will he be staying up on the stairs with Nesker? Now, he was one of the first to get killed once the actual fight started coming downstairs, so I wouldn't say he was terribly effective, but looking at the kills there, so far he has the most on the board. A lot of 3s and 2s, but KS actually slacking off a bit here. He's going to have to kind of step it up a bit.
How dare he?
Yeah.
Through 3 rounds, not have a kill.
Embarrassing, really. I mean, how can he be the captain?
How are you going to get a chair at a McDonald's with results like that?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to go to Burger King if you want a crown at that point.
10 seconds.
Are we being too mean?
No.
Or are we not being mean enough?
I think we can ratchet it up a few more notches.
All right.
We'll see though. It looks like it looks like he could be going for similar stairs play. That didn't really do anything last time. It's because they backed off way too soon for it to be effective. And I mean, I guess like, they were spotted, but again, do you expect not to be? I got to question what's the purpose if you back off that early.
Well, you can see Corey looking to take that engagement as fast as humanly possible. Rips straight into the strip hallway and wants to engage with Nesk and Sexy Cake. Seemingly having a death wish, I guess.
I mean, maybe that's what they were hoping for last round, is someone would just run in without a drone. But there is the drone right there.
There's 2 drones looking straight at the top of the main stairs.
They know they're there. Corey's he's brave, you know. He's just a brave soul.
I mean, when you can crouch spam like that, how would you not be brave?
It's true, yeah. He's got his crouch on hold, so he knows what he's doing.
Thermite charge used to open up Moto Hatch. That's a little peculiar.
Well, it's not like they have a hub on. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, usually you'd open up church wall and dirt with the thermite charges, but I mean, maybe they got a different idea of where they wanted to place the utility.
I mean, what do we know? They did win church last time. Oh, wait. So.
They did have a 5v3 advantage and then lose it.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Some impact tricking coming out. I like that little crack there. You don't usually see that being used for the impact tricking. So, interesting. Veil trying to take advantage of it as well and use it because they do holes, I believe, work both ways. So,
is that what that is?
I don't know. I mean,
man, I thought they were one ways.
Yeah. Well, Sexy Cake doing what he did last time, which is trying to hold off Moto. Last time it was not effective, but it just came down to ineffective teamwork. In terms of him not doing a good job. He did get flashed last time, and again, putting the flash in Clash. Zig, though, with a nice C4 kill, is going to take down their only chance at smoking for a plant.
See, go on an extremely low HP, and now, ooh, good timing with the concussion nade, but Sexy Cake is able to dive back and return to safety behind the indestructible walls of Church, and again, just going to be trying to piss off Veil, to be honest. And Nitrocell comes flying in. That's not going to come anywhere close to being lethal. Gohan still on low HP, still has a Nitrocell in hand, could be used later, and Maka at a man deficit, but they are collapsing in towards blue this time, as opposed to all just storming the Gulag into the church door, and this is going to initiate a crossfire onto Sexy Cake, who's going to have to worry as where he's turning his attention the most, as his backside will be exposed if they both peek at the same time. Rip's pushing in through new blue stairs, he's got 2 waiting for him. Oh, he just misses the head of Nesk as he backs off, and Corey will finally clean up Gohan. Sprays come through, and it's a double kill on the side of Liquid, a triple kill now for Liquid, but Rips was able to trade 1 back. He's left alone now inside of blue, no diffuser control, and no rotate in. He's got a shield looking straight at him, and Nesk will wrap things up nice and easy, and that'll be extending the lead for Liquid now up 3-1 on Clubhouse. Again, on the defensive side. but they bring it back in their favor.
It's got to be unfortunate to be at that low health because at that point, Sexy Cake could have just finished them off with the Clash Tase. So, either way, though, a great attempt and a great play by Rips trying to do as much damage as he did, but just they're continuing to be stalled out in Moto. They need to go for a different push. Maybe they need to be going dirt combined with blue. Maybe they need to be preparing to drop Kitchen Hatch. They did try and open it at least and got Impact tricked off that, but still.
Yeah, I think they had the right idea when it came to trying to establish a crossfire onto Sexy Cake, that shield. As long as you can keep him twisting and turning and not solely focused on one permanent spot without any worry about his backside being exposed, then you're in a good spot and you're happy. But I think you're right. I think they do need to at least send a little bit of pressure down dirt, maybe utilize the utility a little bit smarter. Don't use the thermite charge on the Moto Hatch. Don't go straight to Kitchen Hatch when you know it's going to get impact tricked. Try and apply a little bit of pressure on the kitchen floor and flush out whoever's going to be throwing those impacts, you know. Take things a little more methodically, maybe.
Well, either way, it is not like they're at 0 points, but they're definitely at a deficit on their own map. But again, defense is very strong on this map. At this point, I imagine they're just trying to get as many points as they can on attack so that when they go to that switch, it's not such a huge problem. But I mean, it is kind of weird to say they're trying to get as many points as they can, because I think that's kind of always the goal. But I think the mentality-wise, it's like we're not going to win every single attack round.
No.
You know, we just need to win as many as possible so that we can, once we have that advantage, turn into something serious. And it will be interesting to see if, once the side switch happens, if Liquid can be as strong on attack as they have it on defense.
That'll be tough, and that's usually the story on Clubhouse, is if a team can start going on a little bit of a run on attack, then holy crap, they've probably got the map in the bag.
Yeah.
Again, it's Maka right now with 2 remaining rounds on the attack. You don't want to go down 5-1, because that's still usually a death sentence on Clubhouse, even with it being defender-sided. Eventually, they'll be able to pick up 2 when you have to go to your offsites.
Certainly.
So, you want to keep this within a 4-2 or a 3-3 range. A 3-3 would be monumental, honestly. 4-2 is the average, and then anything outside of that is an abnormality and sways one way or the other.
I'm curious if we will see Liquid try and go for bar, something we did see once earlier ineffectively from Reciprocity, but I don't know. I don't see that happening. I think Liquid are just going to continue to play their rotation, get as many points as they can, and hope they can close it out on attack. Zig definitely wary of being pushed from multiple angles here, though.
Well, you see the stacking right now from Maka. They're all lined up, for the most part anyway, over by construction side, master side, looking to push their way over from the far side of the building in towards a construction take. And I mean, you've got both hard breachers, and you had wonderful coordination and execution to be able to dispatch as the man playing inside of Rafters last time. So I don't see why you wouldn't go for another attempt at that. Bringing that Capitao and having it at your disposal seems like a pretty safe bet, but they're gonna get rid of the mute jammers, and there goes Zig taking down the drone, and I don't know if he's going to swing for a peek as well into construction. There's no one watching for that right now, but it sounds like the wall has also been opened up into cash now, and it has. A thermite charge able to get off safely, and Zig down to about 10 HP now at the hands of KS. After he breached the wall, he stuck around for a second to see if he can pick up any victims.
I like how they switched out like that. He ran out, jumped out the window, Rips took over, but then Corey getting felled by Gohan here, definitely going to be problematic. He's still got a C4. Oh no, he doesn't. He's got barbed wire.
No, not again.
What is with that play? I mean, it's one thing for Valkyrie to go without C4, but a pulse downstairs on heartbeat sensor.
This is too many times today. Like, it can't be a coincidence that it's Pulse's taking barbed wire and Valkyrie's taking deployable shield.
But it's not that he took barbed wire. He took barbed wire, didn't even deploy it.
Yeah, really. Didn't even put it down. Didn't even check, because it's in his mind that he had a nitro cell.
Yeah. He's just using it as a belt.
Oh, that was just the most ill-advised peak of all time, but they'll only lose 1 for it, and it's basically a trade-out. But with 20 seconds left, that's going to waste a lot of time. It looks like KS is just going to abandon Rips, let him beat out and take the 2v4. You've got 2 down below right now. It's Gohan. I think he's with Zig right now to try and tandem this cardiac sensor into a nitro cell kill, pushing directly on the hallway. Sexy Cake will mag dump and hit everything, including air. Now Rips will take down 1, but 2 straight for Liquid, and it's all up to KS now. Just ring around the rosy in the objective with no diffuser, no time, and Liquid will walk away with ease as it's another sweep on the round there. The defense is going quite well here for Team Liquid, as they're performing much better here, at least on the defensive side, than they were on border.
Well, again, this is something that should be at an advantage. It's not a huge surprise, but it is impressive to see them taking it as well as they are in terms of getting 4 points already, potentially now a 5th. this is where Market might start losing some of that confidence and momentum they had coming off of Border, taking the map away from Liquid. Looks like we could see the map from Market being taken away by Liquid as well. So we could see that kind of back and forth, and then it's down to who can play Oregon the most effective. And Oregon is a good map for both these teams, so that should be interesting. Should it get to that point, which is definitely looking possible. Jim has been one so far. The only site that they've been able to take on attack is Cash, which they just failed that last time. So if history repeats itself here on Jim, then we will be going to the sites, which with 5-1, which is a pretty huge advantage. But if we look back at the Reciprocity and Fnatic match, it's no surprise to see the sites, which lead to a huge comeback as well from teams.
Yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised if this goes to a 4-2 at the half that we see overtime, just based on how the map's been playing out so far today. Through all 3 games now, at least on this channel, we've had a Clubhouse. Identical operator lineup still for Market. They seem rather static in their choices as far as operators are concerned.
Yeah. I mean, they're not bad choices. They're bringing plenty of utility and double hard breachers. They have a soft breacher. They have some good gunpowder and some ability to clear some utility with the shock drones. They have the smoke and the fire coming out of Capito. It's not a bad lineup at all.
Good universal lineup.
I would say the only thing maybe they could be taking if they wanted to is the Thatcher, but guess what? That's banned. So this is, I mean, this is about as utilitarian as you're going to need most of the time.
They seem to have a pretty clinical approach to Clubhouse. They're not trying to get too fancy with it, and almost how they were playing Border as well. They were staying very site-centric on their attacks on Border. Same thing here with Market on Clubhouse. They're not getting wrapped up in clearing down below, and sometimes that's been at their detriment, and sometimes it's been helpful in their efficiency as to getting to the objective. But
yeah,
they do remain very site-centric on all of their pushes so far. Market, a gym bedroom take when you focus solely on that jacuzzi window and the master balcony windows, then you should be pretty good to go. I don't know why Paul is downstairs in the electrical.
I think that's really going to be the problem for them. I don't think they're going to expect Paulo down there, and he could find some long angles so he doesn't have to get up close.
I mean, he's chilling, and Market have zero intention of clearing out CCTV right now. As I said, they're, again, remaining site-centric.
At least in Market's favor, that it's not like Paul's going to have a C4 or something to hit them from below. He doesn't have anything to really do much with that. I mean, what is he going to do, like hit the floor with his Magnum?
Takes a little bit of damage as his deployable shield is gone, and he's going to put down some barbed wire. And for the 3rd time this game, I feel like that was intended to be a C4 launched out the explosion as well, but you never know.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't throw barbed wire.
Seems like a lot of people today are forgetting that, but the wall gets opened up. Zig, though, will find his first victim in this round onto Rips. Sexy Cake still lower on damage. He's had to back off into the bathroom now as his safe haven, and Zig still playing inside of the logistics office closet, waiting for anyone to push through. Again, it's Market playing, you know, they're not going for a roam clear all that well, but wow, the Skyro's detonating will put him on the ground now as he hits the deck trying to evade the visibility from the bathroom.
Just seemed like bad timing. He wasn't prepared to have those opened on him. It's like when someone just opens a wall and you were just not prepared for it. Oddly enough, that is the other hard breacher. So they're setting up for a plant, actually. They're getting set to go down here. Firebolts coming out, smoke coming out, plant going down from KS. No one really doing much to stop it, but there we go. Shots coming down as KS finally does get taken down by Sexy Cake, but quickly traded back by Crying, who's now going for the plant.
Trying to get the plant down inside of Jim, and oh, he almost got it, but Nets will stop it dead in its tracks. A trade out by Corey on 5 HP, as I believe he withstood. Vale rushing through, trying to reacquire the diffuser, holding the angle though is Nest just in the middle of a hole in the wall, and Corey on 5 HP, 20 seconds. This is going 5-1 in the favor of Liquid into the second half. Yeah, turning the corner with the pistol. All it takes is one, and it'll be Gohan, who actually turns the corner at the top of the stairs on his left-hand side, coming out of Master with the shotgun. Point-blank range, blows him away. Probably would have murdered him mercilessly even if he was at 100 HP.
I think turning a corner describes Liquid at the moment after Border for sure. They have definitely turned a corner in terms of their scoring, but side switch coming out now, the tables could be turning themselves, as Market will have a good opportunity to bring things back, but is it too little too late? As they were only able to get one single attack, that is definitely going to be problematic going into this, because, of course, if Liquid are managed to get 2 attacks, well, that puts them in the driver's seat in taking it to the next map.
That would send us to Oregon.
It sure would.
And that would also be an interesting scenario in which both teams lose their map in this newer ban, pick, ban, decider format. Yeah. We were talking about that kind of format during the Rec Fnatic game, about how that allows, that really just, it brings to the forefront which map is which team's. Because you get to pick it after only 2 maps are removed. Well,
I think in general, normally, if you wanted to get your maps, you had to be very predictive and strategic in what the other team was going to do.
Yeah.
In this format, it's definitely the case of, like, the decider is the one you have to be more strategic about. Because unless they know exactly which map you want, they're not going to ban it first, and you're likely to get the map you want. At least a 50-50 shot, right? Because they can only ban 1 map first. So if you have 2 maps you want, you're guaranteed to get 1 of them. And that's the nice thing about this format, is it does bring a bit more strength, I think, from the teams because they're getting maps they want. It offers an opportunity to really play to your strengths and offer that fair shot. And it really comes down to who does the best strategic banning for that decider to make sure if both teams win their maps that they get the more favorable decider. Although it looks like we may be getting the reverse of that at the moment.
I can't tell. There was at least 2, but there could have been 3 ADSs placed inside of blue on the generator to try and protect Rips as he was holding down that location. So it's a lot of investment of utility, and I guess they're expecting a heavy push from Liquid down blue. And like we talked about, there are no current VODs, at least from this season, of Liquid on Clubhouse. There could have been previous VODs of maybe even an older roster at which they were blue-centric, but yeah, that's a lot of investment into one specific location of the map, and honestly, that was it was a little surprising to see in the setup.
Yeah. Well, we'll see though. Again, this is down to how they play it here. Actually, Jackal tracking already coming out from Pala. All it's going to do is confirm that they're already downstairs, which, I mean, they're going to expect at this point. And they've spent a minute just to get this top floor control. That seems a bit problematic given how much utility they've used just to get down here.
Nesk running out the bottom of the main stairs, and he's going to spot out Vale inside of Moto. And he's going to fall back immediately, knowing that he's been spotted by the drone. So, encroaching the midway point on the round. And you still have Paula as the Jackal yet to really scan anyone and detect where any of these defenders are currently stationed for Mocket. And it doesn't seem like anyone's really gone out on a massive mission to be a roaming presence. Everyone playing on site for Mocket currently. He also had an impact in the back pocket of Rips to open up a rotation hole. It sounds like some X-Kairos were being detonated by Sexy Cake, and an Ash Charge goes the distance all the way towards K9 and will detonate, I imagine, to take down the Evil Eye. And now the close wall on Armory to get into deep is now opened up as it was left soft. KS, the lone man inside of Arsenal, attempting to hold this out. Ness just missing his quick rotation underneath the hatch into the darker corner. Now here comes Gohan to try and push him out of his favorable position. Ness still holding, coming within inches of crossing in front of his purview. No connection as of yet. And finally, Nesk will take down KS. That is Armory evacuated against their will for Mocket. You still have a man inside of Dirt. Is Kryn is the Maestro holding down, but you have pressure on the outside of Dirt right now with the breach coming through, and he'll have to retreat all the way back now and most likely station himself at K9. 26 seconds left for Liquid to try and complete this site execution. A 5v4, plenty of smoke, plenty of utility. They just need the urgency to push through and win their gunfights. And the isolation should be on Armory, but Corey will rip down one of Paula. A great shot in towards K9, but Kryn will shut down Gohan. Zig will trade one back, and we're left with a 3v3. Rushing straight into Moto. Nesk will shut down Corey, and all of a sudden it's just Nesk alone in a 1v1 now. 3 seconds remaining, ripping into blue box right on the other side of the corner. Turns it, but no! Rips! Barely wins it out. It came down to the absolute wire. And a murder fest inside of Church. But Mocket will win it out at the very last second. Nesk almost the saving grace for Liquid and nearly putting his team on match point. But for the moment, Mocket will stop the bleeding and bring it back.
I mean, that's kind of what we expected with a side switch, but it definitely got close there in terms of them not being able to do that. Nesk trying to save the day, unfortunately, could not pull it off, but that is Church. Church is a hard spot to attack. Cash on the other end, the current setup should be a little bit easier, depending on how they played. I'm curious, though, because we saw Mocket push the garage one of the times. Saw them push from construction the other time. Which way will Liquid come?
It'll be interesting to see what they elect to do. And the Rook coming out. Seen a lot of Doc lately. Rook not so much. Nesk right now 10-4, by the way, having some fun. We don't see a lot of Rook come out these days unless
no, just retro earlier, like once.
Yeah, and I think it was played once in the game between G2 and Mantis that we were relaxing during. Other than that, I haven't seen a lot of Rook today. Don't really expect to either. It's typically the Doc. You know, in Pro League, the headshot percentages are going to be a lot higher just in general, and I guess the guarantee of a down, if it's not a headshot, what's that really going to do for you? Or maybe you take an extra bullet here or there in certain engagements.
I believe statistically, Rook is actually a little bit better overall, but that might be due to lower sample rate because of, well, him not being played as often as Doc.
Yeah.
But I don't know, we did see, I believe it was Paula playing Doc earlier, so we could still even see that come out from Mocket, but yeah, the choice of rips on Rook is interesting coming out from him because he's been somewhat of a frag-heavy player in this match, and that's not a super fragging operator.
No. I
would have expected more of a maybe 3-speed coming out of him, or at least a 2-speed with a good gun. It's surprised as well to not see a Legion in play.
They were playing one last round. It was Rips as the Legion inside of blue with the double to triple ADS stack. Inside of blue, but none such this time around as far as the Legion is concerned. And Paula with the PDW. Wow. That's also an interesting decision. Typically at ranges like that, you're taking the C7E, but hey, it works out. Corey's gone, no bandit trick left, and the wall will get opened up by Zig and Liquid, and they will begin their assault, most likely towards the garage rafters, now that they have this afforded to them.
Yeah, this is definitely a good start for this attack here. Again, the advantage should be on the defense. At a 5-2 situation, it's not map point yet, but that's dangerously close. And I gotta imagine if you're Mocket, you gotta feel pretty bad after all those lost rounds before, but winning the last round's gotta give them some confidence back. However, losing Corey that early, I mean, to be fair though, on the attacks before from Mocket's side, they were able to get this open fairly early as well. So this is not a huge change in that. It's definitely been the case where they're able to get it open fairly early despite Bandit not being banned this time, and despite Thatcher being banned, so it seems to be not a huge deal in itself, and especially with only a minute left and they haven't been able to progress much past this, they need to start getting those smokes out from Hal, potentially to set up for a plant. Maybe just one to bait out the smokes from KS, or if they could just kill KS.
Well, it really feels like it's going to be Paula is going to be the difference maker on this round. He's on a solo flank, and there he goes, ripping down Vale as KS will immediately trade out Gohan. So they have the Rafters control, and it's just a flurry of kills, leaving KS alone in a 1v2 now as he cuts down Sexy Cake from a 1v3. Zig on low HP, the man with the diffuser and a Toxic Babe just misses him as he crosses it in. Zig putting down the diffuser in front of the server rack. You've got Ness directly on top of him. Oh, he shuts down the plant. KS shotgun point blank range. Ness slowly turning the corner, and KS, the 1v3 clutching, keeping Mocket alive off of match point. You can see the celebration from Mocket, a beautiful play from him. Slowly creeping up that cash stairs hallway, and Nesk unable to provide the cover.
What a great low health clutch as well. It is surprising me they decided to plant on that side when they could have planted on the other side, knowing that that's where he was playing from because of the smoke he just threw. They did not have to plant right there. They did not have to give him that free kill. That was purely a mistake on Liquid's part. That cost them the round a bit. Also, the coverage of that doorway. Were they just expecting him to somehow teleport upstairs and come from the other side? I don't know what that defense was. In the case of, like, he's planting, just cover the doorway. Or, I don't know, plant on the other side and cover the doorway. Either way, though, great play by KS, taking advantage of the mistake, capitalizing on it, and using both weapons. He got the one kill with the SMG-11, switched the shotgun, got the kill with the second, and that is why you see so much Mute play, because the ability to do the same thing now with Mute offers so much versatility, especially when you're playing both a Mute and a smoke.
Well, that thrown round will send Liquid to attack timeout. That will be wrapping up any second now. We'll get back underway. It is a 5-3 scoreline for Liquid still. However, they've surrendered the last 2 rounds consecutively. The timer will resume, and we'll get back underway. It'll be a gym bedroom defense now from Mocket as they've won their first 2 defenses downstairs and in CCTV and Cash. They'll now head to the opposite side of the top floor. We've already seen a bar stock, I think, twice today. Either once or twice, can't remember.
I know it was at least once.
It was at least once in Rec Fanatic. I'm interested to see if another bar stock will come out, see if Maka can run the gauntlet on all 4 defensive sites.
I feel like they have tried that before in Pro League. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like that is, if they have not, that is something they would do, potentially, I think. And we were talking about on Border how they like to try and keep Liquid on their feet. That it would be definitely one way to do it, but so far it has not been a very successful bomb site. Despite, I know you have some inklings on how you think it could be pretty defendable. It doesn't seem like Pro League teams have been able to kind of lock that down so far. We'll see if we end up there, but either way, technically you can look at it, the Maka has so far been flawless on their defenses. It's just, well, only been 2 rounds of them. But either way, that is a good start to coming back on this. They are not on map point yet, so they can potentially lose 1 round. But then if they do lose that 1 round, then they have to win it in overtime if they want to shut this out at 2-0. So, of course, all the better for them if they can, you know, not drop a single round. Bring it first. Pala, though, getting a potential freebie, actually doesn't land any of the shots
Another one.
time. Well, this is got to be fun for him.
Rocket playing with fire, and yet they escape both times with their lives. They're going for 3!
Paula's, at this point, Paula's just going to cry. I feel bad for him. Just maybe this is not the job for you, Paula. With that PDW, maybe you need something faster, I don't know.
Over and over and over.
Yeah.
No connections on the heads, and Liquid will stack themselves 3 strong outside of the jacuzzi wall. No one really contesting this. They got the mute jammers down to slow it out momentarily. Obviously, no Mav and no Thatcher means it'll be a little bit of a task and requiring a little bit of coordination and teamwork on the side of Liquid. KS taking a little bit of damage down to about 25. He's inside of the garage. Actually, that's Corey inside the garage. We drop down to 50 as he's trying to punch hole peek the soft garage panels and look out towards the balcony. But well read by Liquid, and they'll repel that at face value.
Corey just wanted to park his car, but unfortunately, he's the one getting parked 6 feet under. Nice kill there by Sexy Cake. No damage, of course, done back to him in return. KS as well has taken a little bit of damage. This is not looking great for Mocket on their 3rd defense here. Because again, they can't afford to lose any defensive rounds without then being forced to do overtime at the very least just to win the map.
Yeah, Rip still holding pat inside of Cash, waiting for anyone to try and push through. And seems like Liquid are a little more interested, in contrast to Mocket at least, in clearing out other portions of the map and controlling real estate as compared to Mocket's very site-centric pushes every round, and seemed to be the downfall for Mocket last time around, just allowing flanks and map control on opposite sides of the building. But this time around, it's Liquid with the focus. Ash will take down the castle barricades of Nesk, and they'll hold out on the balcony a little bit longer. Sexy Cake waiting for anyone to rotate, at least holding down and avoiding the peaks. Slow going here for Liquid as there's 40 seconds left, but now they have jacuzzi wall open. They'll be able to push in through the bathroom, and you've also got Gohan down below, causing a lot of havoc with the skeleton key.
They are spending so much time positioning and repositioning and open things up, but at least a kill there from below onto Vale. That's going to shake things up here, and now a 3v5. A little bit of damage done to Paula, and a smoke followed up is not going to be enough to stop the plant. Going into gym bedroom.
Oh!
Nice read by KS, though.
What a shot by KS, but Nesk will trade it out, and KS is on 1 HP, and he'll get found through the smoke. Liquid with an onslaught at the end, 3 straight frags, and they'll put themselves on match point to possibly send us to Oregon here, although that does open up another set of rotations here for Mocket as they're allowed to go back downstairs, and the next round after that, they'll be allowed to go to CCTV and Cash. So it most likely will all come down to that 3rd round from now, as that'll be the round to send us to overtime. Or,
yeah. I mean, let's be honest.
3.
It's very likely we're going to Oregon just because Mocket haven't shown they can hold off against Liquid's attacks well enough to make it, you know, all those rounds in a row they need to be able to take it. And again, they have to take it in overtime. Now, the upside, of course, is the coin flip could go in their favor when it goes in overtime. If they're able to take 3 rounds in a row, coin flip goes into the favor of them being on defense again. Okay, maybe it's doable, but that's still a bit of a long shot. Now, instead of that rook being played, like we saw earlier, Kryan is going to be bringing that dock. Nesk going to 6-pick over to the Zofia this time. So, interesting change-up considering how successful he's been at the Ashe as well. Okay, it's going to continue on that smoke. Something I don't know. I don't know if he's been super successful at, but he has been putting up a bit of a fight. Nesk, the first one hit those double digits.
So backs against the wall here from Mocket on Clubhouse. However, it's not the end of the world for them considering they came away with a very strong performance on Border, walking away with a 7-2 victory. So like you said, Oregon, the most likely outcome here. But if Mocket can go on a bit of a run and get hot on the defensive side on Clubhouse, match what Liquid did in terms of their 5-1 starting split, then we'll head to overtime and most likely the coin flip will determine the outcome of the game.
I mean, you gotta imagine, so yes, they lost their third bomb site, right? So that's not as big a deal. Problem is the way the rotations work. If they win their next 2 defenses, they again still have to go back to the third bomb site for their last defense, which could, if they lose it, then they go to Oregon. So this is already a bit of a long shot if that third defense is just not a good one for them.
Thermite charge from Zig will open up Dirt to start things off, and then it'll be Gohan and Paula stacking for a strip side clear, and no one roaming for Mocket. Not a big surprise. We have seen a few attempts, honestly, on this map already today of attempts at roaming on Church Arsenal on Clubhouse, and it worked out to some degree for Fnatic against Reciprocity, but no one since has really even attempted it.
I liked that idea there of stacking up with the shotgun and the smoke as usual, but then also bringing the dock for that long angle peek between the crack there. They do also have a bulletproof camera set up somewhere downstairs from the dock because they're not playing Maestro, which is an interesting choice despite the fact that he is not banned. In this case, it is Echo that got the ban instead, so they could be playing him to be able to see through that smoke as well just get that super great gun, but choosing not to do so instead. They're going to bring a dock. I don't know, questionable choice. We'll see how Cryan does on it. He is the top fragger for the team, so.
Flash is descending into blue, clearing out ADSs, and some even detonating. And they see a myriad of punch holes on the wall as it's just a confusion tactic. And you've still got Rips playing extremely close to the blue door, up against blue boxes. A frag grenade being primed and sent through, and it'll detonate just short of the intended target. It'll do a little bit of damage to Rips, but it won't be the end of the world as they still have Kryn on the dock to boost him back up to 100. And he's going to drop a Legion Mine as well on the backside just for good cover. And there goes Kryn taking down Nesk early on that ACOG, and he's going to challenge the kitchen hatch as it gets opened up now. Nesk will fall as the Zofia, so those impacts and the stun canisters will be gone, and now they're trying to line up for a stim pistol. Oh no.
Moved.
Well, Rips was getting shot by Gohan, it sounded
That's no
like.
excuse.
Just stand still, forehead.
Yeah. Well, he's going to get charged all the way back up, so Doc making the most of his magical medical abilities.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Double drop now into Moto, coming up from Paula and Zig, and Corey will shut down Paula as he tried to take a wider angle in towards Church. So it's down to a 5v2 now as Rips will shut down Gohan. Another one peeking through that Moto side. So it's the Breachers left alive. An aggressive peek from Kryn will win out onto Zig. So a 1v5 for Sexy Cake to win the match. And most likely we're going to another round here. Aggressive peek coming out of Church. It's a peek from multiple angles on either end, and Kryn will win it out with a 3K on the round. And Mocket, again, stave off elimination on this map. They've already won map number 1. They're not stressing too hard on the defensive side of Clubhouse. This is probably going the distance, and it'll all come down to that crucial either gym or bar stock defense.
Yeah, it's definitely the case where, I mean, they cannot afford to lose a single round until they get to overtime. So they've got to win cash, and they've got to win whatever they go to after that, which is likely going to be gym if they make it that far. It's not a great place to be in. It's definitely an issue to deal with in terms of what's the optimal strategy at that point. Yes, you can push as hard as you can, but I don't know. I mean, it's a tough spot to be in because gym is not the easiest to defend. Although, to be fair, it was defended successfully both times by Liquid. So I guess if you use that as a basis, it's not a big deal. Gohan actually sneaking over to the Twitch. So Kryn again going to be on the dock. Should be interesting.
No Maestro this time. That's shocking, honestly, the amount of domination that Maestro has, at least as far as intel is concerned, with the indestructible Evil Eyes. It's funny because Maestro is supposed to be positioned as like a plant delay operator, and yet the Evil Eyes never really seem to make it that long to be a plant denial.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that it should be like useful for that, but it's not necessarily that he directly is something going into deny plant. It's more just the ability to see through smokes as well. that's more factoring because you can call out where they're planting, and someone can more directly deny the plant.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
Well, nonetheless, no Maestro coming out this time around. Same attacking lineup for Liquid as they had the last time they attacked here, except I believe Gohan was on the Buck last time they attacked this site. I actually can't remember if he was on the Twitch or the Buck. He's been also on a little bit of a carousel of operators this game. Seems like Liquid are trying to throw everything at a wall and see what sticks. And on the attacking side, they've had a little bit of success, obviously attacking that gym bedroom once.
I mean,
the win.
To be fair, there was one attacking win on the other side as well, so both sides have only won one attack so far.
Not a bad spot to be in for either of these. And Rips, ooh,
yeah,
dangerous positioning there at the bottom of the new blue stairs. He was right underneath the railing, just outside of the purview of Nesk, who was watching the window and will now drone him out himself. Zig's drone will jump the windowsill and also fall in line and fall to its own grave. Flashbangs come out deeper, and Rips is going to escape all the way to the end of the new blue stairs tunnel and come right back as he evades the final flashbang. And a third drone will be felled at the hands of the T5 of Rips.
Well, let's see if they can manage to make more use of the drones in the future. Shots, though, that could have easily hit Nesk in the face. He's going to try and push this. This is a risky play, though, to continue to put pressure on that because pre-fire could get him, but there we go. Rips getting taken down by Gohan. Takes a lot of damage, but the F2 wins those fights.
Gohan taking the challenge as he goes all the way to the basement to cut off the flank, and it was KS that was peeking Nesk earlier. The Ash Charge will still come out below, even though there's no bandit trick happening currently from Corey. Still playing over the top of Cash Stairs, and he won't even make it in time. He darts over in an attempt in vain, but he won't even come close to it. So the wall will get opened up, and it's a 5v4 advantage for Liquid, looking to close things out. You still have to worry about KS down below, who Nesk has not forgotten about. Just holding in position on a flank hold, and KS still has the opportunity to rotate up the rafters. No one from Liquid has tried to push into the garage yet. Ooh, they are holding the flank, though, again.
Yeah, that's a long angle. You definitely you see the ping coming out. Like, don't go near that door.
There goes another thermite charge onto the bottom reinforced walls of garage, directly underneath the rafters. So that's the first pressure being applied with 45 seconds left by Liquid onto the garage rafters. Nest still holding below for anyone to rotate, and they have the man advantage, so they can really sacrifice Nesk's fragging ability to do this. And I'm sure at the end, when some havoc starts coming through, he'll push up the stairs. Grin able to trade out KS as KS was felled on the rafters. Here comes Nesk, just waiting for the perfect storm of chaos to push up those cash stairs. Paul will claim another victim into Vale, and suddenly it's just Kryn alone in a 1v4, all descending upon him. He'll claim Gohan. The diffuser is still outside on square with 15 seconds left, but Sexy Cake will shut it down. Liquid will take map number 2, 7-4.
Well, all they had to do was win 2 of their attacks. They did so, and it's shut down there for the team that managed to take border in such force. I am curious where it will go for Oregon, as it's been a mixed bag on Oregon for Mocket, but at the same time, Liquid's one win on Oregon was against FaZe when they were having internet problems and weren't able to actually properly fight it. So that also means a lack of footage for that win. So yes, they did technically get a 7-0 for that, but in doing so, Mocket were denied any kind of significant footage on what would be happening. I mean, there was a few rounds actually played that were not reflected in the scoreline itself, but at the same time, yeah, there's just a serious lack of footage on that. And I got to imagine there was not a ton shown that they're going to be using here. So Mocket at the disadvantage in terms of footage, but we would have thought the same thing for Border, and Mocket played very different on Border. If they do the same thing on Oregon, could surprise Liquid here. So.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how things will go, especially on Oregon, a much more fluid map.
Yeah.
At least as far as the roaming potential for both of these teams go. It's very regimented, at least in the destruction you have to be able to manipulate the map to your advantage. A lot of hard walls and a lot of soft destruction, but could be it could be a showcase for the aggression that both of these teams are typically employing, but not today for some reason. It's
definitely been a bit more of a slower pace, I would say, from these two teams in terms of what we're expecting. But it's also often, quote-unquote, explosive in terms of the way that teams are kind of like going from that slow pace to a fast pace very quickly when they see an opportunity. Oregon is definitely a map that will probably see something similar in terms of both dorms and the bottom floor. And like once you see that opportunity to go for a plant, we will likely see teams try and execute quickly on that. But like you said, the roam potential can be difficult to deal with if you can't cut off those rotations. We could see a lot of late flanks happening, but I think the operator bans are really what's going to shape this. For example, do we see the old Thatcher and Mute both getting banned, and then it comes down to Maverick play? Things like that will really factor in. Will Capital get banned, for example? It is going to be tricky. We've got some replays here of the map you just watched.
Yeah, that map on Clubhouse really was, that was Liquid getting back in the driver's seat, getting back in control, and I'm sure starting out on defense on Clubhouse was a nice favor to have and a nice position to be in. There were a lot of very close rounds there. They usually involved Nesk at the end, unfortunately for him, as he was in cover, and multiple times it came down to the coin flip of him versus another person. But Oregon is the decider map. Oregon is a map I am not the biggest fan of still.
It's getting a little bit played out in terms of the flexibility left in it, like in from teams. However, once the 2 new ops are introduced, the ones that were already introduced but now actually going to be allowed in theory in Pro League play, assuming that there's no delays to that, because it was said it was a minimum of 3 months, but I think it's very likely we'll see them. But that being said, those 2 can really change the way this map is played. Absolutely. Like both of them, because the hatch, of course, is tricky to deal with. It will make it that much more important. But let's say you've got Kayed and a Maverick banned, but with Kayed in, then all of a sudden it becomes very difficult. You have to use Thatcher pretty consistently to get that hatch. And if Thatcher gets banned along with Maverick, then it's you just pretty much have to attack from tower, for example. Nomad as well could be a big issue for a lot of teams in terms of controlling the flanks from coming in, because let's say you set up the flank control, say around even the corner where kitchen door is near school, you set it up near the meeting hall door, on like in between, so both doors have it. It becomes very difficult to do anything about anyone trying to plant on Laundry Stairs area, just because you can't come from any flanks to do so. So I think we could really see Oregon change, but at the moment, yeah, we're not seeing a lot of that flexibility come out outside of what the operator bans do to what people could do to that laundry hatch.
Well, for the second time today, and it's been a long day for us, at least on the cast, we were going to be going to map number 3. And like I said on Border, I don't think many people had this happening, but at least between these 2 specific teams, that we'd be going 3 maps on this one. I think a lot of people were counting Group C as maybe the easiest one to predict.
I had a feeling it was going to be like that this was going to be the long matches, was all of these ones.
Yeah.
Whereas Stream A, just breezing on through them.
Oh yeah, main's about to be done, by the way. And we still have this map.
We still have 1 match left.
Yeah.
It's the never-ending Stream B. So we'll see, though. It looks like we should be getting into it fairly soon. All the players are in, just finishing their bio breaks. So it is not too long before we get into Oregon, but it's definitely going to be an interesting one, just because both these teams have shown a lot of unpredictability. Both of them have taken each other's maps. Both of them have shown a pattern that we've seen a lot today, which is a lot of one-sidedness in terms of, whether it be attack or be defense, consistently wins, and then when it flips sides, that tends to continue. But in this case, Liquid was able to kind of break that pattern on attack, and that's what got them the win fairly early as well. So we had a 7-2 and then a 7-4. So if you just go off the math, that does favor right now Mocket, just in terms of that extra 2 rounds that they were able to shut down Liquid on. See the members of Liquid there, just getting ready. They'll talk. They look fairly comfortable. They don't look too unhappy about having to go to map 3, considering they just won map 2. So I'm curious how it's looking on the Mocket side as well, whether or not they're still in good spirits, despite not being able to come back on that like they expected. There we go. Take a look at them. They don't look too disheveled by this, but they were definitely hoping to be done by now. As KS told me earlier, this is going to be 2 maps. It's not 2 maps, so he was totally wrong.
You had to call him out for it too, didn't you?
Absolutely. I told him that if it doesn't go 2 maps, then the internet would publicly shame him, so please don't let me down on that.
Tried to call it early, and he almost got it. I mean, they were the upset. They were the surprise on Border.
They still could be the surprise upset here on Oregon, yeah, absolutely. And because this is traditionally a very good map for Liquid. But again, we didn't get to see a whole lot of that because of the phase disconnect fest that we had before, but that was due to weather. That wasn't due to anything necessarily too much on FaZe's side, just due to weather problems in Sao Paulo. However, they are not in Sao Paulo now, so no more excuses. FaZe are doing quite well with no weather problems now, although it is definitely a bit snowy out.
Isn't that interesting how that works, where if you can actually play the game, that you do well?
And that generally is kind of a limiting factor. If you cannot play the game, you generally cannot win at the game.
Kind of put 2 and 2 together there,
Yeah, I know. Calculated. Well, they are just about getting ready. And you see the headphones getting back on, the coach getting ready for it as well. Everyone getting ready, the ref getting ready to make the call as well as soon as they seem ready on it, and making sure Market are ready as well. As of course, once you get to map 3, everyone's a little bit tired for a minute. They got to get those bio breaks in. They got to get resettled. But you see a little bit of tiredness as well coming out from Nesk. The fist bumps come out, and now the map flight. So we are ready to get back to killing. And the operator bans.
Well, for back-to-back games for us anyway, we will head to map number 3. This time around between Market and Liquid, it'll be Oregon. Map number 3, ladies and gentlemen, we are underway. And it's a blitz ban. Hey,
okay,
I'll take that.
Yeah, that is a strategic ban, I guess. It's definitely the case where they do not want to deal with the Latin American blitz, which...
Especially not on Oregon.
Yeah,
that just sounds like a really bad time.
Yeah. Well,
and the Ying.
This is going to leave a lot of utility on the board, though, in terms of making sure Thatcher is able to easily clear the mute jammers. Mute, of course, is still potentially going to be on the board if he doesn't get banned. But there you go. He is now banned. So now you don't even have to bring Thatcher as much, which is going to free up some of the attackers, which means potentially a bit more capped outplay as well, because now they have the extra slot to be able to do that. But will it be Echo or will it be Maestro? Generally, it's Echo, but could go either way for this last ban here. See what they decide to go with for the final ban. It will be the smoke. This is something that's happened a few times, but this is going to make it very interesting. The Echo and Maestro combo, though, is just going to be super fun to deal with on attack. So
you lose the mute and the smoke, but on Oregon,
they just didn't want no sass on their attacks.
You still have a Mira, an Echo, and a Maestro on your side. Good luck planning. Good luck planning on attack, man. That's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
You also lose.
I hope that's not.
I
hope that's not on purpose there, Vale.
Oh yeah. What?
Misclick?
I don't know.
I mean, you can 6-pick off of it, which I hope he's going to do because
I guess
now Capcan's stuck.
I was going to say, I guess you're sticking the Capcan unless there's something wrong happening.
There we go.
There. Okay.
I imagine that was a misclick and not paying attention. There's the Finka coming out though from Sexy Cake.
That was baffling.
Whoops.
And, yeah.
It looks like we're going to go for a rehost on that just because that is, well, not allowed to do that. Might have been a misclick. Whatever it is, though, they need to deal with it. So we will go for that rehost. It might have even been a computer problem. That
it looked like it did. It looked like a couple of the people on Mocket auto-picked.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Capcan was A, intentional, and B, if it was, why would you show it before 6-pick? It's kind of obvious at that point.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely the case where they might have had a computer problem. Hopefully this won't take too long in the rehouse. At least they don't have to re-enter any map information.
Yeah,
because
there was none.
Yeah, no rounds. So hopefully we'll get back into it quickly here. You see the Mocket players, a little bit of laughing going on. I'm not sure what was going on. Hopefully it wasn't a computer problem that will take them too long to sort out. But yeah, that was fun. Like I said, it would definitely be a difficult one to deal with on this. But no, he's not allowed yet.
So yeah, I don't know about those bans, man. Those bans on Oregon, those are tough because you lose your Blitz and your Ying, which are kind of your overwhelming pushing power on the attacking side on Oregon when you're facing that kind of plant delay and denial operator lineup.
Yeah.
So you lose those on the attacking side, and then you lose a smoke, which would help repel some of that pushing power and provide some plant delay.
Yeah.
And you lose a mute, which would basically just use up a Thatcher because it wasn't banned. But you still leave Mira, Echo, Maestro available. That's a lot of, like, I'm honestly wondering how many attacking rounds will even be successful in this map.
Yeah, it may be pretty defender-sided, but again, I mean, yes, you lose the smoke in terms of being able to kind of delay with that, but being able to keep both the Maestro and the Echo, yeah, that's going to make attacks pretty problematic. I mean, it's going to be interesting because attacks themselves should be slightly better if they weren't planning on using the Ying or the Blitz anyways, because you don't have to deal with the smoke, and that's why you saw potentially the Finka even coming out, because they don't have to deal with the extra tick damage from the smoke when they're boosted by the adrenaline boost. But at the same time, like, that has been toned down. I don't think teams are as concerned about that as they used to be. But it's like, hey, if smoke's banned, we're more likely to see that Finka come out to be that extra boost that you're not going to get from, because you're talking about the aggression that comes out from the Ying and the Blitz. Well, can be somewhat supplanted by you bring in an Ashe, you bring in a Twitch, you bring in the Finka. You can go pretty hard, pretty fast on that.
Just going to be tough to have much progress when you've got a mirror window, an Echo drone, and an Evil Eye all staring you down the barrel.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, you could take advantage of the Capitao, because then you don't have to deal with ADS for smoking, because you can smoke and then have all that aggressive play. But if the Evil Eyes are still in play, yeah, that's much harder to deal with. However, depending on how you play that, if you do have that Ashe, you could potentially take out those Evil Eyes in the middle of that push, hit the cup. You know, if you figure where those two Evil Eyes are, you hit them both potentially, or at least the important one for your plant with the Ashe. Then you come in, you smoke with the Capitao, you go in aggressive from the other side with the Twitch just to be aggressive, and then you get that Finka boost. I could see that being very effective on a rush attack if you catch them off guard, assuming that's something they even want to do, but you did see the potential Finka coming out there. Now, normally you have to pick the same operators coming back in a rehost. I don't think that's going to be the case for Mocket. I think it's just going to be a total fresh pick. I don't know if they even got to the reveal phase. No, they did get the reveal phase because the Finka was going to be 6th picked. So I'm not sure if Liquid's going to be held to that or not.
That's just going to be an admin call.
Absolutely.
That ain't on us. We don't control things.
Hopefully they just let them just completely fresh.
Yeah, because it did honestly look like either it was a last-second pick or it looked like there were multiple auto picks on the side of Mocket because someone's computer crashed or something happened. I'm not really sure what's going on.
Definitely possible here. You see some discussion going on from Lick, and we do see that most of them have not joined the lobby yet, so it makes me think they may also be having some issues. Hopefully it's not the server as well, coming into problems from that. Definitely some discussion going on here. You see Zig still does not have his headset back on. Discussions going on with the refs, the coach as well. So hopefully there's not a problem here they can't sort out. At least Zig is smiling instead of frowning. And the ref looks like he's sorting something out.
We're just doing play-by-play of this because we got no idea what's going on. So.
Yeah, this is what we're casting now, is what the players and the ref are doing. But either way, better to look at them than to look at us. So sounds like there's some issues discussing with Liquid to figure out what's going on.
Who knows? Maybe it is the operator thing. Maybe it's something else entirely. Who knows? But we'll get back underway as soon as they sort all this out.
That's right. It wasn't already a long match.
Yeah, and it hasn't already been a really long match.
Actually, I say that, but actually, it wasn't terrible. Yeah, exactly. It could have gone much longer.
That's 20 rounds for 2 games.
After earlier, that seems like a small
38.
amount. Yeah, if only there wasn't one more match to go today. But this is, you see Mocket actually starting to lose a bit of steam as well, like some of the smiles starting to turn to a little bit of tiredness. Both teams getting a little exhausted by some of the play. You see just looking a little like, crying as well.
Feel it.
Yeah, feeling it. It's been since 10 a.m. and it's already like 7, so.
Well, I have a feeling, considering we've been on a break for a couple minutes, and this the game on the other stream was pretty exciting. Just for an update for anyone who hasn't gone over and saw it yet or looked at Twitter or anything, it was Evil Geniuses on a comeback on Villa against Lestream on map number 1. They win at 8-7 in overtime.
Well, that's just the first map, correct?
That is first map.
All right. Well, that is just humming along. I think it is.
Yeah, they're not that far ahead of us. They're not done.
I don't know. It's starting to look like they might finish before we get to match a number 4.
Yeah.
Zig discussing.
So now he's got to stand up and make his case.
Well, it's starting to look a little heated. Oh no. He looks upset.
Basically.
You should go give him a hug.
I'd go give him a hug right now, honestly. Did you watch the documentary, Twin It All?
Of course.
Of course you did.
Not in theaters though. I did miss that opportunity.
Oh yeah.
That did make me a little sad.
Well, same here.
Yeah.
I don't America, so.
Yeah, we should try it. It's not too far south. So, hopefully they're going to resolve this here soon. As I mean, realistically, we just don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's not a major issue. Market looks a little bit more ready at this moment than Liquid, despite the pick problems being on Market's side. But it might just, again, be a discussion on whether or not they can pick the same operators or not. And I think that might be the thrust of it, would be my guess. You know, Liquid saying, like, why do we have to pick the same operators, that kind of thing. So we'll see, though. Hopefully we'll find out soon what's going on with that.
All right, so we're going to cut to a short video while we wait for everything to get sorted out. Just
give you something to look at besides the players.
Yeah, stick with us. We'll be right back.
That was easy, really.
You got it right.
What did you say? There isn't even a Jaeger. Oh, there is too. Yeah, there is.
Cyclops, Blind Spot, and Bob Trap.
Oh, I think I know Bob Trap.
Blind Spot.
I have no clue on this one at all.
Serious?
Yeah, I can't think of any of them.
Come on, Cyclops is easy.
No, I can't think of that.
Oh my god. Capital. Vigil. Frost. What?
It's Clash,
What?
Ying,
Clash?
What?
Oh, I started writing Capcom before Frost and I was like,
Capital has one eye. Come on. I think you should change your,
how did Clash get Cyclops?
I have no clue.
I think you should change your nicknames. Just saying.
No.
Yeah, I know. Don't you know this one?
No.
Serious?
Yeah.
I just know more.
Let's go, Virtue.
Right, because they're both from Russia, yeah.
I was thinking it was more leaning towards the whole apocalypse thing that the infected stuff, but yeah, I didn't know Capcom slashed her.
She should have just been a better fighter. Wouldn't have got the scar. I'm gonna see.
So we got Smoke is right, and the attacker was Zofia.
Zofia, that's when she had 3 sons, yeah?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. That makes sense.
Season 8.
Yeah. Reveal? Yes, good job.
Okay,
You guessed the ban percentage just for
probably above 70%.
Yeah,
Yeah?
above 70. Guess you can just guess a number.
76.
72. Higher.
78. Higher.
83.
Closer.
81.
80% ban rate.
Damn.
If I had to introduce Rainbow Six to my family, it would be very rough. I'm from a small village in Germany. People don't even know what video games are, so I would go with, it's a tactical thing. That's what I would say. I wouldn't mention shooter. And yeah, then I would try to hide it, probably. Luckily, my parents understand, though. Thank God. If I had to replace myself on the team, I'd probably go for, I'm a fragger role. I'm an Ash main, no brain, so I'd get Aces. He speaks German, he's an Ash main. I think he's a good replacement. The loudest player on our team is definitely KS. He's small, but he has the loudest voice out of all. And after that, Krine. We have one hilarious bootcamp story. We were in Sweden and we had a bootcamp at a place far up in the north, and you had nothing but a small shop. And we went there and Rips and me tried to cook chili con carne. And it went horribly wrong. It tasted like nothing, like water. And then we wanted to throw it away, but we had no bin over there. So we left it in a place, and then later on told our manager to clean it up. And he didn't get the message. He was very angry at us, and he just said like he found it in another place, completely moved somewhere random. And well, I think the chili con carne just got alive and went away, I guess. But that's about it, though. Other than that, German boot camps, quite boring. I'd go for tea, and I think my entire team hates me for that. But I'd go for tea. No energy drink, please, and definitely no coffee. No. Oh God, I'm very bad with money, so I honestly have no idea what I would do. I'd save a bit. I guess I would give a bit back to my parents, but other than that, wasted, I guess. The teammate with the most annoying habit is probably Vale. He makes weird sounds while he sleeps. Can't really explain it, and it's horrible. You can't sleep in one room with him if you want to sleep. If you don't, then that's fine. But other than that, it's horrible. And then you have Chaos. He shouts a lot. I think if Ubisoft keeps it going like they're doing right now, then Rainbow Six can be very big, like we see with the Invitationals, the insane prize pool just grown by the community. It's something Dota does, and I think Ubisoft understood what they have to do, and I'm very happy to be part of it, and I hope I can be part of it for very long. Scrap one thing about Siege. Okay, so if I could remove one thing, I would remove all the operators past Mira and Jackal. I think they drove the game into the wrong direction. And if I could add one thing, I would try to make it more competitive. I celebrate a big win. I don't really celebrate a big win, I guess. I mean, when we qualified for Rio and for the Invitationals, I was just happy, I was smiling, and we were all talking to each other. And then I go to bed. That's about it. It's pretty boring, I guess, but...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to map number 3 between Liquid and Mocket.
Yep.
Heading into Oregon. So there was a discussion with the admins, and I guess the op bans were redone now. So
it also looks like the sides have changed as well, as Liquid is now on defense first.
That I actually didn't clock. Who
everything seems a bit different in terms of that. Originally, Mocket was on the defense, as they were the ones who accidentally picked Kayet, and
Attackers need to locate
not the case anymore. So everything seems to have changed. The op ban that seems to have changed is Mute is now Echo in terms of bans, so you see Mute actually being played. So it's interesting. I'm not sure what the admin calls were, but everything seems quite different now that we come back.
Fascinating. Well, we'll deal with it. We'll move on with it. It's a 1-1 scoreline in terms of map count. We head into map number 3 on Oregon. We continue to go to the distance, Devin.
Yep. That is what we do.
Can't get a quick game to save our lives.
No, I mean, I think at this point, if we wanted a quick game, we'd have to go injure one of the players.
Or we just go to the A stream.
That's for tomorrow.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Although with the longer games, that means it's been better competition. That's exactly what the Invitational is all about. So
absolutely.
Can't really complain too much.
A+ competition, but we're
just going to be here a long time.
Yeah. We'll see how this laundry attack goes. It looks like they're going for a tower clear first. There is the Mute in play, so I gotta imagine that's gonna be stopping the hatch from being open anytime soon. Interestingly though, no Habana in play. They're gonna be playing with the Thermite instead, but there is someone on the top of this tower here. I imagine it's probably Nesk on the Jaeger. They're gonna do their best to try and take Nesk out of this corner. He's got 2 ADSs over there on the other side. So good luck. Oh, nice start. A lot of damage done to Nesk.
Corey will clean it up from the kill holes down below. So T3, and he's swinging right into his death as Paula just unloads into the swinging corpse that was Corey to level things up. Holding the flank down the stairs will be ripped to bring the advantage back into the favor of Mocket on their first attacking round. And that's your tower hold completely dispatched of. You're able to take down an Ashe if you're on the side of Liquid, but you lose a Jaeger, a Rook, the reinforcements, and all the utility dispatched of into tower to try and hold it, and he only killed about 30 seconds.
Good trade. Corey trading for Nesk and, and Paula. Actually, that's a very good trade for Mocket.
Yeah, honestly, you're coming out on top if you're Mocking in that situation. The Thatcher, of course, not banned, and the Mute back into play won't really have much of an effect on the game, regardless, because the Thatcher is still available and teams will continue to run it. So the hatch will get opened up in main lobby, and a typical Oregon game continues to turn typical, and we now head towards a site execute on the main stairs.
Yeah, this is definitely looking like Liquid
Attackers
pressured
located a
very
bomb.
tightly now into sight. And so that's gonna hurt. Window getting popped now as well. This looks like a Mocket round despite the loss of Corey. But they're gonna need to go for the smokes now from KS. There's the smoke and crying. Wow.
Veil putting down the plant, and a Nitro Cell will land just short, I guess. Not going to connect onto Veil, putting the plant down in behind the laundry bin. The fire through smoke just not connecting, and finally it will successfully put down the plant. Sexy Cake answering a phone call into the closet behind the ejected mirror, and he'll have to rip back out. It looks like he wants to go for a flank up the tower stairs, but in a 2v4, Mocket will surely have someone covering, and it'll be Veil take down Zig. So it's just Sexy Cake left alone now, trying to maneuver his way in through meeting, as he had a KS drop through the electrical box hatch. And he'll pop up in the hallway hatch, giving away his position, trying to push through the split of meeting. He'll drop Veil, but time is slowly ticking away against him. There's not really a lot to be had here. Rips will clean it up onto Sexy Cake, so Mocket with a surprisingly efficient tower take and then conversion to a front stairs site execute. Works out quite well for them, and they'll be up 1-0 after the first round.
Yeah, that was definitely a great execute. I mean, the tower take, it was unfortunate they lost Corey, but taking down 2 members there, putting all the pressure on the site, and then once they popped that mirror, that was over for Liquid. It was definitely a problem for them to be able to hold that defense. I mean, it was a great attempt. I like the way he opened the hatch on that rotate. Sexy Cake just, you know, open the hatch, let me play for a decoy on that. I hope they go for the flank, which they did. He did win the one fight, but just, I don't know, there was not much you could do in that situation. It was interesting timing with the way KS dropped the hatch just before Sexy Cake could get up there as well. We'll see if they do any better on dorms. They do not have to play it. They could try laundry again, but well, with the Thatcher in play, the mute's not doing a lot for them to stop that hatch from being open. The tower take wasn't effective, so seems like a fair shake in terms of let's just switch over to dorms, see how we do there, feel it out, and if we have to switch bomb sites again, we can go back to laundry. But this is a team that has historically played tower before they had to, so I definitely see them having a third bomb site ready, whether that be tower or dining.
I wouldn't be at all shocked, and most teams nowadays do have strats for both of those offsites, whether it be tower or dining kitchen. You got to have something at least prepared for when your rotation comes around. You have a good stroke of luck on the defensive side on Oregon. It's like Gohan's just prepping a couple of windows, maybe to instill some fear into the hearts of Mocket, or even take advantage of them. He's going to be peeking out the front door right now. Oh, wow, that looked like Kryn, who was pre-aiming for it, waiting for the peak to come through. And Sexy Cake also taking a little bit of damage. Not sure if that was a Twitch drone or some team damage in prep, but we've seen a lot of team damage in prep already today.
Yeah, it's definitely something that has been just, you know, whether people throwing goo mines into each other or like light shots. We've been seeing a couple of team kills today. It's definitely been an interesting day for teams just really letting the pressure get to them. They are going to take tower again very quickly this time, though. It is not going to be defended. So good drone play, and no reinforcement on the other side of that. Just letting them open up. I got to imagine, though, the other side likely reinforced, or they're going to have a rotate hole. But this is so far a very swift take coming out from Mocket. They are looking like they could actually be going for a kid's plant, though. You see the diffuser actually being held somewhere near there. Go on. I would say he got the hair shot off his head, but he's already shaved it off, so.
He'll narrowly make his escape, his grand escape down the main stairs towards main lobby. No one really pressuring. As you said, this looks like it's Mocket stacking for a kid's windows take. Don't really see why not. There's not a lot of attic control or attic pressure. There are rotations made into attic right now for Liquid to be able to press in and regain some of that control and pressure out through the slit window onto anyone repelled. There are currently 2 members of Mocket repelled. I believe it's Corey and KS out on the kids' windows. So they're going to have to be cautious of the dining window and of anyone moving their way into attic, as that tower control was still locked down by Corey and Rips earlier on.
This is good pressure coming out from Mocket. They're locking down Zig here in this position, phone calling as well. He is able to drop the diffuser down now, so they now have to expose themselves. But as he goes to answer the phone, they answer with bullets. There goes Zig now. A lot of pressure coming on here on Gohan.
Look at the 3-man stack right now for Liquid on the main floor. They're just playing from below right now. Paula and Liquid both looking through kill holes towards the windows, and Gohan using the cardiac sensor to relay the info to the rest of the team. I guess that means Sexy Cake is alone on the objective, if he's even on the objective, and he is. He's got a nitro cell in his hand as the mute shotty, waiting to launch it towards the big window, and it will get shot out of the air at the big window, trying to lance in some bullets and make up for it with the SMG-11, but no such luck as he'll only tap away at the shoulders. Phone ringing out as he'll finally answer the call. 30 seconds left, though, so it's going to be an all-out rush for Mock as they try to descend into the objective with extreme pace and tempo. Corey will grab the first kill onto Ness. That's one of the players playing downstairs dispatches. Apollo, though, will trade out rips on the call. The cardiac sensor will repel in, and KS will win that with the CZ. The diffuser is lost outside a big window, and you still have Gohan and Paula down below with multiple nitro cells. 10 seconds tick away, and there's nowhere to plant this on an elevation. All they have to do is call this, get the ping down, and launch the nitro cell to stop the plant. Planting inside of Kids now, trying to go for the rotation. 2 nitro cells go up, and they'll both detonate at the same time. Paula, with a bang, will end the round and level things at a 1v1.
And there's finally Liquid finding the defense they needed. It is surprising how much of it was downstairs and how effective that was. Great call on the C4 there to stop the diffuser. And again, they could go back to laundry, but nope. Oh no, there we go. They were going to go to dining for a second there. That would have been interesting as a choice. But laundry, retrying that, it seems like the right call here. We'll see if they're able to do anything different, though. I got to imagine Nesk is not going to sit up in the tower this time, though. Just let him have it. It is not worth contesting it because they're going to be able to bring a lot more firepower than you can bring because you're going to be 1 or 2 people in the tower, and they're going to be 5 people potentially mobbing on you. They are going to sneak in the Valkyrie, though. That is going to give them potentially some cameras outside. So if someone does want to play in the tower, they might have a little bit more flexibility to peek from the kitchen doorway to do something about it. Or, sorry, the dining door.
I'd imagine Nesk is rocking a bulletproof camera right now because there'd be no way, they're not bringing a Maestro, maybe you have a Valkyrie cam in place, but for the most part, there'd be no way to see past the smokes. And last time around, it was Maka just laying down plenty of smoke cover and going for the main stairs plant, probably the most basic take on Oregon ever created, and it's still a ritual and very repetitive take that comes out on this map.
I gotta imagine they're gonna use the bulletproof camera in combination as well, like with the mirror, sticking it on the other side so you can see right through it. Yeah, absolutely. That's the right call to do because the mirror can look right through it, see where the plant is going down, and then C4 as well as spray vector bullets straight at them. Saw him trying to do that last time to smoke. It didn't work so well.
So 2 rounds, it's Rips and Paula right now leading the charge on the kills, and Corey. So used to seeing an Ash and assuming it's Nesk.
Right?
But it's Corey right now on the Ash who's heading in towards a big window clear, and there's a man upstairs. That is Gohan on the Valkyrie. He's currently contesting that, stuck inside a generator for the time being.
Well, Corey is at least making some progress towards this, but he is cautious. He knows someone's playing up here. The timing, unfortunately, against Corey, the old crouch and move. Working against him. Nice play by Gohan, barely taking any damage. But the droning going to come out here to try and put more pressure on as a teammate of Thatcher, trying to sneak around the side. Will this pinch work? There's a camera up there. You can see just to Gohan's right, trying to help him. C4 gets stuck, and that is the end of Gohan.
Grim clean that up on the Thatcher, and there goes Gohan. You lose a lot of, I think he used 2 Black Eyes, and you lose the Nitro Cell on that one. But, I mean, you kill a minute, you drop Corey to 25. I imagine Corey will get reset considering the time they have and the map control they have. I don't know. Even-ish trade if it weren't for the Nitro Cell being lost. But with that being gone and you're being up a man regardless, I'd still give it to Maki, even though it's...
Oh, they know. They know.
They know. Grin is well aware of this, but just evading the head, unfortunately.
There's the reset coming out as well on Corey. He's going to get back up to that 50 HP. I don't think Nesk was going to do him a favor and heal him, so they are going to set up for the plant now, and that is going to leave Nesk over there. They're just not even going to deal with him. They're going to leave him up on T3, force him to rotate back down from the tower. They kind of know where he's going to go, either through Meeting Hall or through the backside of tower down in. They're going to take out his armor bag, I guess. Or no, yeah, that was the Rook armor bag.
Yeah.
Pala just left it there. What a litter bug.
I imagine there was nothing left.
No, it might have had the chili con carne that Corey was talking about in it.
God. Ash charge into the back of the closet now, just try and push anyone off of that mirror, and it is successful for a moment, I guess, but it doesn't do any damage to Zig as he just holds firm, and most likely it was to get rid of what I imagine should have been a bulletproof camera, although I never actually saw was there. The smokes come out, the plant being put down. Nesk, though, firing in from hallway will take down Corey. That's the cover, but the plant is being put down with no contestation, no nitro cell being ripped out. Now
What's happening?
Primed for a second by Zig, but again, not tossed. So it'll be a 4v4 post plant, now down to a 4v2. The nitro cell falls errant. The hip fire from Zig will win out. You still have 3 to find if you're Liquid, and a diffuser to complete on the disable. The flank drone will watch Paul inside of meeting. He tries to go to the right side of split, but there's 2 members of Mocket well prepared for this. They back off to the top of the main stairs, and they both fall immediately. Paul and Zig do.
That was confusing. They just all kind of stood there. Just, I don't know what they were, like, okay, there's smoke, but didn't you have a bulletproof camera for that? Wasn't that the point of bringing it?
Well, I think the bulletproof camera got ashed. I think that's what that ash charge behind the closet was for.
Yeah, they must have just got it with the splash.
My real question is, why are you taking Rook Dock when you could take a Maestro that can see through the smoke?
I don't know. I mean,
the calls for the Nitro.
Well, because you could take both. Just drop the Rook. You get the Maestro and the Dock. Hey, like we're seeing now. What do you know? It's like they figured that out as well. They did
It's like there's utility in the game that can see through smoke, and it's kind of necessary for providing a call for a Nitro Cell to come out for being plant denied.
I mean, as soon as the bulletproof camera was announced, it was like everyone immediately thought of this bomb site.
Yep.
Like simultaneously. So, yeah, that was a confusing round coming out.
Very confusing.
I mean, because it's like, yes, okay, you lost the bulletproof camera, but you could pretty much guarantee they're going to be planting on the other side of it. And hey, they can't see through smoke any better than you can, so just throw it. It does quite a bit of damage to the radius. Throw it near the laundry machine because they're probably planting there, and if they're not, guess what? Now you know they're not. Shoot at the other side.
My favorite thing is that Sexy Cake also had a Nitro Cell, so even if Zig had launched it and it didn't connect, you still had another one.
That could throw it the other spot.
You know they're only bringing 1 smoke operator, so they have 2 smokes.
And there's only 2 spots to plant in generally, so I don't know.
I don't know, man. The math seems pretty easy on our end, but then again, we're sitting in some chairs casting it instead of playing it, so.
We're all like, they just need to type these things into their computers. You know, they'll win, no problem. They look so stacked up, ready to just shoot each other in the head right there.
Yeah, it's a heavy construction spawn for Mocket. You know, 4 out of 5 rips the lone man over by Junkyard for a clear, and again it's a tower control. Starting out, I don't know if it's Nesk on the Jaeger. It looks like it is Nesk on T3.
I gotta imagine it's what he's been playing, whether it be Doc or Jaeger up there.
He's on the south side of the tower right now, behind those metal panels, and he'll duck away into the corner now, into the that southeast corner. We don't have a compass anymore, so I'm trying to remember. But yeah, that should be southeast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the ash charge will come out from down below. Rips holding the flank for the secondary member and firing through the floorboards. Corey will down off Nesk, and Corey again winning the engagement, but losing a lot of health in the process. At least you are able to dispatch of one of the most prominent fraggers in the entire world and the best fragger on Liquid in Nesk.
Well, at least Gohan's not going to be standing there trying to die as Rook again. This time he's going to be the Maestro, and Powell is not going to push it. He's not going to overextend himself. He's going to hope they walk it in. But no, instead they drone him out. Figure out where he's playing. Unfortunately, that was a shock drone, so that is a bit of a loss in terms of good utility that could be used to potentially pop the windows downstairs. But due to the excessive droning, they at least forced Pala downstairs to watch from a window and hope they push into him.
So, same game plan as last time around here for Mocket, as they initially go for that tower clear, and then they completely convert to a front stairs push. But this time they've got the evil eyes of Gohan to contend with.
I miss when Zig used to play this as Pulse and just rush up the stairs anytime he saw an opportunity when they were going for a plan.
Well, you can see the Twitch drone from Rips. Last time was able to pop up in the mirror. This time, not the same amount of luck.
Looks like Corey did get the reset on his health as well. Just like last time, they seem to take that tower fast enough. They always get the opportunity to fix up his boo-boos.
Well, with less than a minute ticking away now, it'll be the front take to come through. And like we talked about earlier on, there's only 2 sets of smoke. Sexy Cake doing a dance and just narrowly evading. I believe that was Corey circling the hallway, or sorry, the electrical box hatch. The first smoke will come out directly up against the mirror, so you're not covering any visibility from the laundry rotating. The drone of Paula, or sorry, I have no idea whose drone that was, will get shot down. And Doc Stim Pistol's coming out to get everyone back up to 100. 27 seconds tick away. It's deceptively a very quick round, and Corey will have to rush the back stairs. The last remaining smoke comes out. Vale makes it in up against the laundry basket, but the Evil Eye is seeing this perfectly. A beautiful shot from Zig, attempting the plant, not going to last very long. The cover, though, from Corey and Krim, but there goes Vale getting dropped down by the Nitro. He just needs the plant, and he's stuck in a revive animation, but it comes down to a 4v1, now a 3v1, and using the Evil Eye, it'll get shot out, turns the corner and lights up with the Alda, turning the corner on the pre-fire. The plant into the overtime. Pre-fire just mouse wanting, but he cannot connect on all 3 members of Mocket, and they'll come away with the round victory. And I believe that'll level things up, or no, it's a 3-1.
Yeah, the other way around. It's 3-1 now.
Yeah.
So far, Dorm's the only thing that has worked for Liquid. They have yet to win that. And so back they go. They had to defend 2 other sites, or 2 sites twice, whatever, however they wanted to do it, to be able to go back to Dorms. So well, now they're going to, because it's the only thing they can win. But Liquid saying enough is enough. They're going to call for that tactical timeout. See the, you know, disciplining happening here from the coach as he spanks his team into action to try and get them to do something besides defend successfully on Dorms, because this map is slipping away from them, and it is a 1-1 scoreline, and Liquid do not want to be out in groups against a team that is, again, the underdog coming into this of Mocket.
I was super confused about the latter portion of that flurry of kills, really, when it came down to Liquid. They had the 4v3 advantage as far as man count is concerned. Then they also simultaneously all just tried to charge the diffuser. You still had a Nitro Cell in your back pocket on Sexy Cake.
Yeah.
You still had the Evil Eyes on either side of Laundry to kind of just chill out. And I don't know, it just seemed like a lot of rushing into death and sprinting at the enemies who were holding, were the plant cover.
I mean, honestly, Gohan, I believe it was Gohan that was on the Maestro, did not have to take the 1 tap pre-fire and then stop and come around the corner. You have 80 bullets.
Yeah.
There's no way you don't hit every single spot in that basement walking forward right there. You just become Terminator mode and just spray. At that point, you don't have to hit heads. Yeah, they might hit your head, but you'll do so much damage to them at that point that it's likely someone else can help finish them off. That was just overall a bit of a mistake not continuing to pre-fire that, because he is so strong at pre-firing the way he does, because you get so many bullets. And I mean, yes, it doesn't stabilize in hip fire mode anymore, but it is still devastating there.
Well, a 3-1 lead for Mocket. Again, the result that I don't think many expected. Liquid probably the large favorite heading into this game, especially in this group, and yet it is Mocket putting up one hell of a fight so far. I'm pretty impressed by their play.
Yeah, it's definitely been something that Liquid just have not seemed fully prepared for. And I mean, who knows, even if Mocket win this might be where they kind of end things, you know, not being able to surprise any other team, but either way, definitely not underestimating them for the rest of this tournament. You know, even if they do lose this, they still get a chance down in loser's bracket as well, but so far this has been a great, strong start from them. Although, to be fair, Oregon slightly attacker favored in the sense that your 3rd bomb site not so great on this map.
Well, Corey will make his initial entry into Armory and then jump out and go down to Garage, and it looks like he almost wanted to bail on the Garage play as well, but he's back and forth on his decision on where he wants to go, and I imagine he's simply set up here to be flank hold. Thermite charge will come out onto the closet wall, and that'll detonate without any interruption on the side of Liquid. So closet inside a generator is now open. They're going to spot out the Evil Eyes. They still have mute jammers at top white to worry about, but Corinne's got the EMPs. Shouldn't be much of a problem to dispatch of there.
Yep.
The real problem is if Liquid all start flying downstairs like they did with their possible 3 Nitro Cells again, that could be a difficult situation.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's going to come down to timing. They have plenty of time left. It's a minute 30 approximately left in the round. No one really trying to get any fights just yet, but there are members kind of spread around the map. They're again trying to go for that very bottom heavy defense that seemed to work very well for them last time. But I got to mention, Mocket going to be a lot more prepared for that this time as well. That's not going to catch them by surprise. And some of that definitely came down to that C4 at the end, just barely saving the day for them because they didn't have time to rotate up. But Rips already going to punish the Maestro. They just need to take some of the C4 off the board. Well, that is going to take some of it off along with KS's head.
Somehow, in the absolute chaos in the middle of the hallway, Vale is able to get a plant off. Now Gohan pressed right up against the big window, unaware of the man to his left. Cryan will take down another one on a sexy cake, and answering the phone directly under the windowsill. That big window is Gohan. Plenty low HP attackers remaining, and suddenly it turns on its head as far as the advantage is concerned. Cryan low HP, and Vale still covering from inside of adding a double rush. They all line up, but Cryan can't pull the trigger, and it's a 1v3 for Vale, trying to work his way out of. No one on the diffuser as of yet. Now Nesk hops on. They're both low HP, and the peek from Paula will win it out. Nesk will stick the disable the diffuser, and Liquid will bring a round back in their favor in round number 5, heading into the last round of the first half with a possibility to draw even.
I tell you what, though, if all they can win is dorms, this is not going to go well for Liquid. I mean, to be fair, though, of course, if Mocket can't win any better, then it's going to just go to overtime at that point. But they will try Laundry for the final time here, as they, of course, will end their defense after this round, and we will switch sides. Although, I say the final time, that's actually not true, because it could go to overtime, and they could end up on defense again and play Laundry. So, who knows? Maybe it won't be the final attempt. But either way, this is the final round before the side switch. I hope they're a little bit smarter about the defense this time, because there's definitely been some questionable plays leading to their losses on these defenses, and Maw could have absolutely capitalized on any mistakes being made. But in doing so, they're still only 1 point ahead right now. If they can continue winning on Laundry, they will be 2 points ahead. And if their defense is better than Liquid, then they get to go home the victors for the day. So, I mean, that's all it comes down to. That's all it came down to on Clubhouse as well. Who could come out an edge ahead on the flip side of things.
Like I said, Liquid with the possibility to head into the half tied 3-3, or it could be Mocket, at least leading the way with a slight lead at 4-2. It's down to this round, a very pivotal round in this game. It'll be another Laundry defense coming out for Liquid. Same operator lineup. Looks like Nesk on the Valkyrie this time. So they brought the same operators, just on different people playing those roles.
Will Nesk be playing in the tower is the question, because that's something that really hasn't done a ton for them. It's at most cost Corey a little bit of health, but he's always been reset, so it's at most cost him 50 health.
Yeah, and it's usually resulted in Liquid being down a man, whether it was the 4v3 after round number 1, or it was the 5v4. All of those.
You don't want to be down
off into Corey.
That is who you want to kill early. Something Nesk has just continued to fail to do. So that is a good start already. If they potentially could even this up here, this is definitely something that costs them quite a bit, as Corey can be quite the impact player, but it's not a lot of utility lost, except for the important ability to take out those Maestro Evil Eyes. That is going to be the biggest factor here in Corey's death.
No Zophias. They're going to have to rely on either it opening its bulletproof shell, and it looks like Paula wants to claim another victim. 2 of them pushing in on either side of the dining door. He's able to down one, but can't clean it up. So Chaos will trade out Paula, revive Rips, and they all walk away happy. Whoa. And this is kind of the biggest thing.
This is where those Evil Eyes work against, and now they actually can.
Evil Eyes and Valk cameras.
Yeah.
That's 2 huge portions of utility hacked away.
It's a good thing it doesn't give you the ability to see through the mirror windows as well.
True. Unless there was a bulletproof camera behind it.
That's awesome.
But there is none this time around.
Well, this is where they start to get a setup, and this is where they need to be ready with those C4s. They also need to be prepared to potentially turn their Maestro Evil Eyes away in a situation where it doesn't benefit the attackers. Although if it's only facing them, it potentially won't, of course. So they've got to make sure to do that. But of course, there are situations where the Evil Eye can get turned away. And if Gohan dies with the Evil Eyes facing the wrong direction, then those can permanently work in the attacker's benefit for all the dead players on attack, which in this case is just Corey, but you can make those call-outs.
Less than 60 seconds, ticking down. You see there was a twitch drone in place, and Zig's feet will get shot up as a warning blow to push him deeper into supply room. So he can't angle up so close to laundry rotate. Aggressive peek coming out from Gohan will put Rips on 10 HP. The plant coming out with the Nitro Cell will stop it dead in its tracks, and Veil will be felled. Spray's coming in, the man advantage on the side of Liquid, but KS is trying to stick the plant. Another Nitro Cell comes out, and they have a third one in the back, and Sexy Cake will connect on it. Another attempt at this plant, in behind the laundry machine, and there goes the third Nitro Cell. They all come raining down. Crying will fall. It's Rips on 20 HP. Trying to clutch up in a 1v4. Diffuser lost the laundry machine. He's being constantly spotted by the Evil Eye in hallway. They all line up, hitting the deck once as Sexy Cake as he tries to really get in for that final kill. And the wide peek from Sexy Cake will be successful. A 3-3 tie as we head into the half, and it was the reigning terror of Nitro Cells, the difference maker in that round.
I just love the body just dumping down the hatch at the end. That really sealed the deal right there. But that was absolutely what we were expecting them to do before. And why could they not pull that off before? Like, they couldn't even pull off one Nitro Cell before. That time, it was three in a row. It was like they were making up for every round before it in one single round. But that only brings it to 3-3 on the half. So had they done that previously, they could potentially be at an advantage here in points.
I think the biggest part of our exasperation with Liquid so far has been the simple mistakes.
Yeah.
The little mistakes that we then see get corrected later on.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with Liquid. I don't know if it's mental. I don't know if it's the pressure of the Invitational, especially after Paris, like you said, not having a good time in Paris. Maybe they just don't like group stages because they've done well, obviously, at LANs without a group stage. You know, seasonal finals, obviously they won Atlantic City.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's something about, like, it's the little mistakes that really, really rub us the wrong way.
Yeah.
The big mistakes that we get to call out, but it's the little ones that just drive us even crazier because they then get corrected 2 rounds later, and you ask the same question
why
that you just
did do that earlier?
What the hell happened 10 minutes ago?
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of things that we are not privy to, especially the communications, you know, the IGL calls, the decisions. We don't know what their dry runs are like. We don't know what they prepare.
10 seconds to go.
So all we can do is guess and, as you say, be a little exasperated as we have kind of the viewpoint that they wish they had.
Yeah, obviously we have all the information in the world and they clearly do not. So it is unfair.
Well,
sometimes.
To be fair, the only reason we're not playing and winning this is to give other teams a chance.
Oh, for sure.
So,
for sure.
There is that.
Yeah. The caster takeover is on its way, don't you worry.
Yeah, you've been begging for that caster match.
Oh, I have. I have. Casters versus coach.
We've already seen my skill live on stage. So it's your turn next. Just tell you what, just don't get in the path of my C4 throws.
All right, bet.
Oh, Pallet nearly seeing someone right through the shelves there. Corey just taking a fight that he might not win. The PDW, though, is still an interesting choice versus the C7E, who it's a very effective weapon against that 416 carbine. But either way, oh, there we go. The Goo Mine just slowing him down. Trying to do what Ness was doing earlier in terms of playing the tower, but it seems that Liquid cares far less about the tower than Maka did. Nesk actually going to be playing instead from Armory side. Now they have taken control of the west side through the kitchen. They've taken control of the Armory. They've got a good setup here to push for a potential attack down the road, but they're still going to have to deal with Corey being left alive inside meeting hall for potential flanks later on. Oh no, I'm sorry, he's actually in the attic. So he is going to spray through a little bit, give away his position, but no one's going to pressure him. They just don't care.
They had him on the Jackal track from Paula as well inside of the attic, so I'm surprised that Ness didn't go for a pre-fire into that wall, or at least open it up as well. But with that being said, Corey will escape, and it seems like he's very indecisive about where he wants to go. Looks like he almost wanted to go for a full retreat down to the objective, but now he'll stand and fight and get Jackal track. Oh no, it will be his accompaniment. I believe it's Rips inside.
Well, now we refer to him as the bait.
Ah, yes.
Oh, the slow creep. It pays off for Corey.
What an angle.
Jackal tracked that.
So there goes the Jackal. The plant initiated for just a millisecond before being pulled off from. as Zig wanted to get in position, and it looks like Kryan is using the Ella mine, so he's stacking in behind the mirrored closet and launching Ella mines into the smoke every time they go for a plant, so they don't have to use a nitro cell. It's huge.
It pushes you right off the diffuse plant, and that's something a lot of teams don't take advantage of because it's got such a huge blast radius. It's actually bigger than the C4 blast radius, so you can actually pretty much guarantee you pull them off. In doing so, they wasted the smoke. They're trying to do it again.
Got shot. KS will have to turn the corner and light up, and no, the cover is successful. The plant gets down. Nest will finish off the pistol. Kryan will get one, and rushing up the stairs with the Scorpion gets two. Will down him off and finish it off. Pistol in hand, almost gets three. Tagging in the chest, but Gohan wins it out, and Liquid will take their first lead on Oregon.
Oh, looking pretty strong for them, but hey, laundry's been a problem for both teams, so not a huge surprise there. But it was unfortunate to see that Grishmont mine get shot down midair.
Yeah. That was so unfortunate.
Yeah. Definitely, that right there kind of cost them the round, unfortunately.
Surprising that KS also didn't launch a nitro cell from inside of the laundry rotate, kind of like Zig was doing the entirety of the time downstairs.
He just wanted to get up.
Just trying to wide peek it.
Well, speaking of curious decisions, they are going to go to tower for their secondary site. Interesting choice.
Yeah, you could go anywhere on the map right now. That was their first defense. They lost it. So they can literally go anywhere on the map, and they're going to go tower.
It's interesting, too, that they're going to go Finka for the 6th pick from Sexy Cake, not knowing it's tower. They're going to be thinking it is going to be dorms. So whatever they were planning, that plan is now going to have to change very likely, unless they were predicting this, which is, I mean, unlikely, but possible.
Yeah, I highly doubt they were anticipating a tower, considering that tower really is, you can see Gohan's Twitch drone trying to get into meeting and sealing what the hell's happening and trying to backtrack and relay some information to the rest of the squad. You're right, the Fink is an interesting call, although if they can burn the ADSs, that's frag grenades and some extra health on those repel games. It's a faster ADS time for Nesk on the windows if he wants to get on, just like Corey was.
Yeah, and that's the thing is Nesk can use some of those flashes to burn some of the ADSs along with Zig. I imagine on flashes as well can do that, so they can clear those ADSs fairly quickly.
Gohan could just whip a Twitch drone up to T3 through one of the windows and zap it real quick.
So they definitely have the utility still to make this happen because that Finka pick does give you those extra grenades. The Jaeger is already down to half health as well, so if he's trying to pocket any ADSs, he might die with them in his pocket at this rate. But it is going to be interesting to see. They do have the Valkyrie, so they do have the possibility of some good runouts. There is no IQ to try and counter that because they did not expect this tower play. So one of those grenades already going to be used to take out the door. But look at this, just the concern about the flank. That is the biggest problem with attacking tower, is you really have to watch so many doors and windows.
Ooh,
nicely done. Well, that's what Corey's been doing to him this whole time. It's only fair.
True. Give it right back to him. Corey will be felled, and the first victim in the round is Liquid try to extend their lead here on Oregon and take the best of 3. This is map 3. This is do or die here. Send themselves to the loser's bracket. And I believe it's Vale on the Valkyrie who was over by Armory, and Kryan might be getting close to peeking this window as well, but KS will win out onto Gohan, who was even overcharged with an F2 on a Finka boost, still losing it. So I guess KS had quite the jump on him, and now trying to push in. More shots will ring out as that was Vale tagging up Paula as he tried to push into that tower door.
Yeah, definitely did not work out for him, but it wasn't a lot of damage. Kryan, unfortunately, can't find the angle. He's going to go for the jump out. Could get 2, does get 2. Wow. And almost 3.
Tries to re-peek it while detected, and that was ill-advised, but at least sets his team up in a beautiful position now, as it was Liquid heavy on the advantage, and now they're extremely on their back foot as it's just Zig and Paula left. You got 1 smoke grenade remaining on Paula, who hasn't used any of his Jackal tracks yet. None of the utility on Zig has been utilized either, as they're just focusing on that T3 and T2 control, and they, for the most part, have it, but they're very wary of those kill holes down below. ADS will be burnt out at the top of T3, and Zig will go forward rotates. The smoke grenade, this is smart from Paula, will protect him on the repel in. He's going to bait out for a second, and a nitro cell will land Aaron, not connect, and Zig on the jump in will grab 2. Rips and KS are both felled, and suddenly again the man advantage is flipped on its head. Plant going down from Zig, and the cover from T3 above by Paula. The nitro cell launches up, and it'll connect on the Zig. Down to a 1v1. Paula against Vale, dropping down. Paula has to recover the diffuser and get the plant down, holding the angle, fakes the plant once. They might even have a Valkyrie camera up in the tower, fakes the plant again. Another now attempt, and he throws up a Valkyrie camera. Will spot him, trying to complete the plant, and it looks like Paula is going to stick this, turn to the corner, and Vale will win it out. A beautiful clutch from Vale, and Mocket will level things at a 4v4. Oh, what just a counterbalance round.
Two beautiful plays. The C4 throw.
Yeah.
That just, like, arcs perfectly right onto him. And the camera in his pocket. He goes, oh no, I don't know where he's at. Here, let me throw this up. Dead guys, watch this for me. And you saw the pings immediately landing, goes right around the corner. And on that plant, he had to know he was about to get shot. Because he's getting pinged, he knows he's getting pinged. It had to be a situation where if he had the time to jump off the diffuser, he probably should have, realistically. But either way, that just evens it up. But winning tower is a big play because now they have a little bit more breathing room. If they have another bomb site they want to be able to play a bit more of, because, well, they're not going to probably choose to go back to tower. So now they've got that out of the way, they can play laundry and dorms freely to potentially take it to 6 and give themselves at the minimum overtime if they can win laundry and or dorms. They're going to go for the laundry attempt first, something they didn't do so hot at before. For similar situations to what we saw with Liquid, where we go, why didn't you just throw your C4? Seems to be a recurring theme for laundry, as teams just don't seem to be able to calculate well enough where to throw it at. And they are going to go with just 2 C4s, the Mira and the Mute. Crying going to be around with those little sticky mines again to throw those out potentially to stop any kind of attacker plant attempt. But they're going to be a little more prepared for those these times. But unfortunately, for the attackers, they don't get any kind of Jaeger.
Well, I imagine our viewership probably just spiked a crap ton. But for those of you who have stuck on this matchup for the entirety of the time, it is Evil Geniuses taking down Lestream 2-0. They go 8-7 on the victory on Villa, and then win the second map, which I have no idea what it was, but they won it 7-2.
That is, I mean, it's not surprising, but that is impressive. Should be interesting to see how that goes down for the stream in the losers bracket. I believe it was Oregon and Villa, looking at it now, I believe.
Oregon was map 2?
Yeah.
Because Villa was map 1.
So, yep.
Alrighty then.
All right, well, back to this Oregon.
Well, you may also notice that we're still on Group C. It's been a longer day over on the B stream, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome. We still have another best of 3 to do.
Hello.
That's Penta against Norarango, which will also be an incredible game. Brian's taking a lot of damage from T3.
Yeah, he's not going to be down there with the mine, but there we go. Corey, nicely done, and they didn't even have any cameras outside or anything to give that visibility. That's going to give Cryan a huge leg up here, but they're still gonna try and flash him out. Dodges all 3, but not the bullets.
Nesk playing on the turn, knowing even if he didn't flash him that he would have had to turn against a wall to evade the blinding effect of the flashbang. So great play there from Nesk. He repels in and doesn't take a single hit point of damage, and now he has the T3 control. They evacuate Cryan from upstairs. He's still got Corey to worry about, who's been roaming around on the far side over by Master Hallway, but a good beachhead to at least start with here for Team Liquid as they try to push their way even further out. And they've found where Corey is. He's pre-firing away at that attic wall and towards T2. Nothing going to connect, and you've also got Rips inside of Meeting, who's going to drop down the hallway hatch after immediately being spotted. So it's just Corey left in the roam game with a little over a minute remaining.
Well, we'll see if they can use that minute to good effect, because all they've done is take T3. This is definitely going to come down to whether or not Mock can anticipate where the actual push is coming from. Be prepared for it, because you see them rotating towards our side where it looks like it's coming from. Smoke starting to come out. They are ready for this. I got to imagine some goo mines really in good positions here to stop this as well.
Exothermic charge coming out onto the electrical closet wall, even though it was soft and no one's going to shoot it off. Yeah, Rips playing that, or sorry, no, that's Vale playing the back mirror. He's going for a wide peek, and Paula and Vale will exchange blows, and it's Vale coming out worse for wear in that engagement. Paula hits the deck to look through the kill holes in the floor, trying to angle in through the filing cabinets and against the boxes. Another smoke grenade up against the mirror, but it'll trigger a Legion Mine with 20 seconds left. That's not even what you want to be doing. Slowing down is not the play, but Sexy K can grab one with the SMG-12. No, Nesk can't turn the corner and pull the trigger fast enough, and 2 from Liquid will fall. The man advantage firmly in the favor of Liquid, or sorry, in Mocket. Paula will trade 1 back, but Rips will close things off, and it's Mocket once again taking the lead on Oregon. Back and forth, map number 3, either wanting to concede a single round.
I would say it's been defensive-sided, but it was 3-3 in the first half. Looking like it could trend potentially that direction in the second half. But we'll see how Dorms goes. Dorms was definitely a better bomb site for Liquid. I don't know if it'll be the better bomb site for Mocket, who did manage to make laundry work a bit earlier than Liquid managed to, because it took them 3 tries. No, I'm sorry. I believe it took them 4 tries to make laundry work. So Mocket already at least an advantage on that bomb site, but if they can't make Dorms work, it doesn't matter as much. Crying going to fake the clash, but he's going to go off to that pulse. So they may do a similar strategy of playing a lot more guys down below to be able to kind of defend from below, just because, well, that was somewhat effective for Liquid. But they may also just run the pulse below and have everyone else play on site. Either way, they are likely to have 3 C4s here between the pulse, the Mira, and the we already see that there's at least the 2. Haven't seen what the mute's carrying yet, but I think it's pretty likely it's going to be a C4.
Well, inching our way closer and closer to a decisive result finally.
One can hope.
Hey man, we've been on the grind in these games, man. They've been
on day 1 of what, 20, 30 days, probably.
Yeah.
Coming off a super month.
10 seconds
cool.
to go.
Long days. Long days in the group.
I mean, I've also been casting this for 3 years now, so what am I to complain about an extra round or extra map?
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Either way, this is definitely a lot of pressure on Mocket to make this happen after losing so early in the last land they were at. That helped them get here. To be honest, that's why they're here, is because they were able to pull that off, getting to Rio. Now they've just got to do something a little more significant here if they want to make it a bit further and prove everyone wrong. So far, though, Liquid potentially going to repeat Paris.
Yeah, on their back foot here, but still well within reach of coming back and pulling out the W here on Oregon, especially in the attacking side. It's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, at least the way we've seen things break down so far. The defense downstairs has been pretty abysmal, but basically due to very, very small human errors that have been corrected multiple times over. So the top floor defense is really what's been back and forth. And I'm interested to see what the setup is this time around for Mocket as far as their utilization of pressure below. They do, like you said, have the possibility of 3 nitro cells. And the way Liquid played it was everybody go downstairs right now. Yeah. And they just threw all their nitro cells at the ceiling. And I'm interested to see if Mocket's going to try and maintain some of that verticality or try and go horizontal and just launch them on the same plane as far as the nitro cells are concerned.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a little bit of both with that many nitros, so definitely likely to see that. You get one explosion there that might have just been a thermite breach.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is. You see that big wide open hole to go for a potential plant. That's where the nitros need to be able to work their magic, because there's no smoke to counter them. However, there could be goo mines, but they're certainly not a Jaeger anymore, as Corey goes down first.
Paula acquiring the first kill in the round for the side of Team Liquid, and looks like Rips wants to take a lot of pot shots in towards Masters. It's currently a 3-man stack for Liquid, outside or inside Master currently, and I guess that was an Ash Charge where top white will destroy everything but the mirror. Yeah. It's hanging on by a thread on the edge of that wall. It's just enough of a base at the bottom to keep that thing intact. So it'll live to fight another day. Another explosion comes out from the Ash, and Gohan will go down to Cryin as he gets a little aggressive on that pulse. He goes for a run out outside of the small tower door. Wow, so there goes one of your flank holes below. Gone. Vale with another nitro cell will take down Nesk, and a double kill for Vale, looking to go for 3s. He gets stuck on KS in the smoke, and he knifes him in the midst of the smoke, and rushing down White Stairs. Paul will clean up 2 as it's all down to Rips now, who was hiding inside of the attic. It's a 1v2, Sexy Cake on 0 HP, essentially. Stuck inside a generator is the diffuser, so covering it well is Rips. There's a breach hole to play with as well. Recovering the diffuser is Paul, but they get stuck on one another. Rips gets one on his Sexy Cake. He needs to stall at the time. He tries to rush through, but Rips with the 1v2 clutch and Mocket on match point, series point.
What a fantastic rotation by Rips, just completely reading how they're going to play it. And unfortunately, they decided to push way too aggressively against him. See the concentration coming out from Mocket there. They are feeling it. They are on map and match point, and they're going to go to tower?
I mean, they won it once, but let's be honest, they shouldn't have won it once.
That was some serious plays at the very end to clutch that. This is a risky play because you really are giving Liquid potentially a chance to come back on this. But, hey, Liquid are going to be thinking, no way they're going to go to tower again, right? Although, wait a minute, what am I thinking? They have to. They won the 2 other bomb sites in a row. They don't have much of a choice. They have to go to dining or tower, so...
Hey, did we say it's been a long day yet?
Not quite over, but yeah, it's also not over for Liquid.
No.
They could bring this back for sure, but...
All they got to do is win this attack, and that opens up basement defense for Rocket. Basement defenses, all it takes clearly is one person forgetting how to use their brain, and it turns into a successful attack in a post-plant situation, so... This is by no means out of the realm of possibility here for Liquid to push overtime, and then coin flip? I don't even know if coin flip would dictate it. Again, it comes
No, not if you're going 50-50, because if Liquid brings this back, then that means, again, we're seeing 3 from each side. So, yeah, that's 50-50. So coin flip, it's pretty much the best decider at that point, because it doesn't matter. So we'll see, though, if they're able to at least put a significant amount of pressure on the tower this time, now that they know it's going to be the bomb site. Because, I was forgetting before that the way that it worked out, they actually will know it is likely to be the bomb site. They're not likely to, we'll pick a Finka thinking it's Storms kind of situation again. However, I don't know, they could consider, I don't know, maybe bring in an IQ when they know this is going to be the case, so they could try and isolate out any of those Valkyrie cameras, make it much easier for them, and as well as to spot the mute jammers ahead of time. I don't know. They could have got some extra utility out of that, but we'll see if they can make what they have work. Again, though, Corey hopefully not going to fall for what Nesk did to him that he had done to Nesk twice. But it looks like he's definitely heading that direction. He is trying to hold out as long as he can. ADS is doing their job. He doesn't have one in pocket. This is, he's starting to get a little risky here. I'm a little worried for Corey's health, as barely has any ADSs left.
It's quite a difficult situation to be in there, or a precarious situation for Mocket, as it was only Corey on site for the first 45 seconds of the round. If Liquid had elected to go for a rush, as long as they got that T3 control, that could have been a nightmare for Mocket, and we could have been in a 6-5 in a heartbeat. But instead, Liquid take their time, and that allows some of the defenders from Mocket to retreat back towards the objective.
I thought I saw the camera. He walked right underneath that Valkyrie camera, and I saw it on the screen. I'm like, no, that's not a Valkyrie camera. He's right underneath. And there it is, the one he was looking through right there. Wow, that's well played by Vale. I mean, again, that's the power of the IQ to stop those, because having those cameras out there, such a problem. Wow, so far, so yes, he's lost all his ADSs, but look how much utility and time he's burned, and Corey is yet to take any damage at all. 2 minutes in, no one has hit each other. This is actually really good for Mocket.
This is huge for Mocket, but it'll be up to Corey to try and hold out a little bit longer with the 416 up in the depths of T3, in behind the metal sheeting. Just away from those kill holes that were pre-made and that Nesk added on to later on. Nitro Cell being prepped from KS, and it'll detonate prematurely as there's 40 seconds left. The phone calls come out in a 5v5. This is going to be an absolute slaughter fest. Repel coming in. Corey just going to pre-fire this and gun down Paula. Go Home will trade one. Nesk with another as he gets that entry in. So the sacrifice works as they have the man advantage and the T3 control. Holding the Stowers net, and there goes Nesk again. Rips, though, able to trade out Gohan. The plant going down from Zig, though. This is Rips and Vale left alone. The Nitro Cell not going to connect. The plant goes down. Now it's a post plant with no T3 control for Mocket to work their way out of. Answering the phones, the both of them stuck inside a meeting, one on stage, one on door. And there's smoke shrouding their only entrance. Their rotate hole is cut off from visibility from the stairs. And the plant is in T2. They have T3 control. Good luck making it up those stairs. This is going to be a merciless killing for Vale and Rips as they try and make their way up the stairs. Although, as I say that, Rips will take down Sexy Cake. There goes that T3 control. So Zig's outside the window. Diffuser right beside. Vale pressed right up against it. They're running out of time. Sticking the defuse now, it's Rips. MPX directly in the window, but there's the T3 control from Nesk, playing the long game. And Liquid will live to fight another day. Excellent timing from Nesk there, just letting his teammate bait them out, completely just push them into that position. But a tactical break from Mocket, well timed, of course, because they need to make sure that this last round counts, because
If they lose this round, it goes to overtime and Liquid have a chance. If they win this round, they get a well-deserved rest for the day and get to go the winners into tomorrow. So I think it's a big decision as well to go laundry or tower or dorms. So they've won dorms 100% of the time, but that was only one attempt. They've won laundry 50% of the time.
They can't
because
go
that was
dorms, though. It's still locked out.
That's
right?
true. They can only go laundry.
It's laundry or kitchen right now. Or
This is why I write these things down and then don't look at them as I'm talking. So yeah, laundry is their only choice unless they want to go dining. This the 3 bomb site rotation. This is why I'm surprised anyone still plays Oregon, because it's so difficult.
Yeah.
When you're in these situations like this and you don't have a lot of choices. But this is why they have this timeout. They have this discussion so they can go, okay, we've won it 50% of the time. What can we do to close it up? Because the most recent time we played it, we won. How can we repeat that? How can we make sure we don't make any mistakes? All you need, guys, at this point is one perfect, flawless round. Don't make any mistakes. Communicate well. Keep your calm. And you can close this out. If you don't, you're going to have to, at the very least, slog through overtime. Minimum 2-round win at that point, just to try and get it. So, Liquid, of course, thinking the same thing. We've got to play this smart. We've got to take, I'm sure they were taking advantage of the same timeout to have the same powwow. So,
well, what we've seen so far, at least on this game, is basement defenses being ultimately coming down to, does someone make a stupid mistake or not? Because when teams play, I don't know, rather intelligently and use their nitro cells and their utility accordingly, things go well. But when someone just misses a call or misses a simple C4 or misses an impact made, then things start to go off the rails. So if everyone can just kind of play this textbook, Mocket should be able to walk away with it. But, you know, maybe an Elemine gets stuck on a wall again and gets shot down, or maybe people start shift Wing at plant cover.
I am curious, though, where Cryan's going to play. Because he had played, you know, to help with the defense of the laundry stairs before, and he also had played tower. He's kind of in the tower side right now, but still doing setup, so he could go either way. Still has a barbed wire to set up as well, but it looks like he's starting to head the tower direction. Could go for that again. They are setting up a lot of utility to help with the tower side. So, I mean, tower is something they are at least good at defending to an extent, even though they lost it the second time around. I still think they have pretty good control of top floor, because they were able to hold out for so long. At least Corey was able to hold out for so long. And he even managed to get a kill from up there last time. Can Cryan hold out as long this time? That's what I wonder, is whether or not they're just going to be able to just... I mean, there's been so many fights like this. You'd think it'd be easy at this point to have, like, nailed it down to where T3 is just quickly taken out. But that had been Corey. He'd been able to do that quickly before, despite always taking damage doing so.
Well, Corey was able to give him an ADS inside of T3 right below the window that Nesk is rappelling on, and they're on opposite sides of an indestructible wall on the outside of tower currently. Cryan and Nesk are. And Corey was getting into an engagement with Gohan off screen, the only man for Liquid not trying to push in the tower, and Cryan right up in the window will drop Zig, pressed right up against the windowsill and unloads with the Scorpion.
A bomb has been located.
Cryan still holding in T3. That's the thermite gone. That's your hard breach. That's a huge pick for Cryan and all of Mocket. The phone calls come out. Cryan will slowly rotate off his position. He'll get full blind by the flashbang. Nesk unloads all 3 in, waiting for the rappel in is Cryan, and he's almost able to convert, dropping Nesk down to 10 HP, but it's Nesk walking away with the kill to level things. Nesk will be able to get reset. Midway through the round, you still got Corey out on a roam game, but you've lost your thermite. You got to push hallways and staircases. Good luck, Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, even though he's going to get reset, this is much further into the round than when Corey was doing it, I think, a lot of the time, and this is going to slow them down a bit. Does give an opportunity for Mocket to kind of recollect themselves, but it is Nesk after all, just like it was Corey. Both very strong players, very strong fraggers, and you've got Gohan also coming in here. This is looking like a pretty heavy tower take. I mean, they took tower, you might as well turn it into something, right?
So this wall has been left soft multiple times over, and this might be the one instance in which Mocket wish they would have reinforced it, considering they had murdered Zig very early on in the round, as he was the initial entry on that tower clear, at least the first engagement anyway. Not by his choice, but Nonetheless, we'll equalize at a 4v4 with 40 seconds left, and it's going to be an absolute massacre, a clown fiesta as they all rush into electrical box and try and push the hallway. The back mirror has been ejected, so no one playing that for comfort, but 30 seconds now ticking down. It is do or die. The smoke go deep into the end of the hallway to stop any kind of rotation, but KS with a nitro cell. Gohan an immediate trade onto Veils. There goes another nitro cell. Paula with the PDW at close range. KS on another trade. 17 seconds left. Paula has a diffuser. He's able to shut down KS. A 1v2 for Rips. Once again, Paula putting down the plant, just sees the barrel of the gun, trying to turn the corner right up against the Dokumi. The SMG-12 will win it out, and Liquid will push into overtime. We're gonna go the maximum distance on Oregon on map number 3 between Liquid and Mocket.
Because why not? This has definitely been a very close, I mean, I think we only cast very good close matches. It's like kicks with aces.
There you go.
It's just, I don't know, it just happens. And this has definitely been very 50-50. I mean, this is the definition of a decider right here.
3-3 splits on either side,
Yep.
6-6 split between attack and defense for the whole of the game, and
sounds like we may also have a rehost situation. I'm not exactly sure why. It might be a setting issue or something else not working out, but we are going to have to rehost quickly to get this set up. Hopefully we don't have to wait for them to input all of the rounds, as well, that's probably not necessary.
yeah, it will be because you need the alternating.
That's true. I mean, you can use a different setting in a different game setting, but yeah, they might not have that prepared.
Yeah.
So unfortunate as it may be, a little bit of a long.
I mean, realistically, you don't have to do all the sites because it's overtime. There's nothing going to be locked out.
All right. Well, there's Mocket concentrating, thinking what they could do to close this out. Imagine Liquid's doing the same, as they are both so close. I got to imagine Mocket was feeling like they could have won that, but just too many kills, too many trades coming out there. After losing Cryan, they definitely could not finish it off. You see Cryan living up to his name, almost looked like he was crying for a second there. So this is I mean, I hate to swear on stream, but this is a hell of a game.
I think I've already said that like 6 times today.
You were a bad man.
I am.
Okay, fair enough.
It's been a long day, but they've been incredible games nonetheless. And
absolutely.
Oh, okay, everybody's okay. Bye.
Yeah, get out of here. No, you didn't win, so go home.
A forfeit? Do they lose?
Yeah, absolutely. I imagine they are going probably for a bio break, as it is going the distance. So we'll see though. Liquid taking the time to discuss though is definitely what Mocket probably should still be doing, but maybe a bio refresh also will be helpful. Either way, you know, just getting what they need out of this
looks like
rehost.
Sig's leaving.
He's gonna go beat up Mocket right now. He's angry. He's like, I'm just gonna finish this myself. Fisticuffs.
Fight me IRL. 1v1 me in the bathroom.
Absolutely.
Ooh, good catch. You see that? He caught his glasses midair.
He's been practicing that his whole life. Every time he drops.
Now where's everyone? They're all filing out.
They're all going home. You know, they said it's a tie. Let's just call it.
Yep.
Yeah, they've tied enough. You know, they both are winners at the end of the day. So that's what matters. That's all you need. Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, all the players left, so now you guys got to look at us while we just wait for the rehost and everyone to get back in. So
we're gonna leave too. So.
Oh, okay. See you,
right.
bud.
Yeah. Peace out. I'll drop my headphones and then catch them.
Yeah.
Just to see if I could replicate that.
So overtime on Oregon. We said earlier that the coin flip. It's 50-50 right now, so it comes down to the play.
The funniest part is both teams are also 1 for 3 on laundry.
Yeah.
So it's like, laundry is the reason this is working out, even because teams cannot consistently defend it, whereas Dorm's a bit better, but it is kind of funny that rather than Dorms being the thing for them, for Mocket, it's been more Tower as kind of their alternate to Dorms. So.
Well, we're going to throw to a video because, yeah, everyone's gone. So we're going to throw to a video. We'll be right back.
See ya.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, show. Okay.
What did you get?
It's
Just put a bad guy cutter.
/ here practicing.
Ow. Yeah, that makes sense. I wanted to like pre-write it, and then when she goes to write it, I just do something like that, and like, oh yeah, yeah, that's what I got. Oh, wait, there's one that just came out in the recent Oh, whoops. Well, good.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, show.
You really got the second one from?
I put Thermite and Pulse both with Habana.
Yo, she's cheating, man. Yo.
She's got multiple.
She's got an affair.
So we have Cyclops, Grenadier, and Pulse.
Oh, I know who. Grenadier. Isn't Grenadier? Grenadier. Isn't that Zofia or Fuse?
You gotta write your answer.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I got mine too.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, show. No. So it is Zofia is right for Grenadier. Cyclops is Clash.
I knew it.
And Pulse is Stature.
That's what? That was their name. Wait, what? Pulse of Stature?
1, 2, 3, and show. Well, Fox is closer.
I said over 9,000.
It was 1,300.
Jesus.
Oh my god, that's a lot. What were all of they?
IQ's nail polish. Oh, I know which one it is, but I don't know. I can know the operators, but I don't know.
I got it.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, show. No, Operation Chimera.
Ah, we were both wrong.
Oh, what?
I knew it's the one with Zofia and Ella, right?
Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the conclusion, hopefully, in overtime. Map number 3 between Liquid and Mocket, currently tied at a map apiece and tied 6-6, heading into overtime on the third and final map for this best of 3, which is Oregon, which has also been very back and forth.
Yeah, they're tied at half a piece, I guess, half a map apiece so far. It has been interesting, to say the least. I'm not sure why we had the rehost, but we are waiting for them to finish setting up that rehost and the players to get sorted. You see them at least back at their desks, so that's a good start.
That's a start, yeah.
We'll see if they can do the next part and get ready to actually play.
I hope so. It's already been a pretty long series again. We're closing in on 3.5 hours again, just like last game.
I just imagine the next one going all 3 maps, but this time all overtime. Wouldn't that be fun?
I will hurt you.
Yeah.
Don't you dare wish that upon me.
I'm already hearing myself enough to hear, so you could hear my voice. We'll see, though. It sounds like the game should be starting here soon.
Hope so. I think so. Maybe.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, at least everyone's here, right? So
everyone looks like they're ready to get underway.
I love speculating on what's happening. It's fun.
Just kind of like, yeah, we'll guess. See
Yeah.
what happens.
They'll be playing eventually here. Let's see them get into this match. And I think we're about ready to get cracking. Just waiting to see. And it looks like we are jumping back into the game here. 6-6 overtime, starting on Laundry for Liquid on defense. And Sexy Cake 6-picking over to a Clash, which you don't see on your screen yet, which is why I'm telling you, because by the time it cuts over, you will not see it. So just keep in mind that is a 6th pick over to that, so they do not know the Clash is there yet.
Typically, with the way that Clash has been played today, and the way that Clash has been played in recent history, I wouldn't necessarily suggest Clash. However, I think this is actually a really smart read by Liquid, considering that Mocket have run the same 5 attacking operators every single round. And those 5 attacking operators do not include a Zofia or a Capital, the 2 biggest counters to a Clash. Also 0 frag grenades, which will be your next closest counter when there's no Jaeger on the board like there is.
Well, they do have a Thatcher to disable the taser on the shield, so
yes.
Sexy Cake is done for. Yeah.
Once again, angling for a tower take to start things off, and looks like Corey is done with the ACOG, swapping to a holographic now in the R4C, and there's no one to contest him from taking tower this time. Liquid completely abandoning it after multiple runs of tower takes, just resulting really in Nesk having to be reset, same as Corey, and they get one pick but trade one out.
Yeah. We'll see if Sexy Cake can be effectively aggressive instead of just kind of hiding back on the site. We had seen him try to be a little more aggressive on Clubhouse, and it really did not work with Clash there. So I am curious to see if Sexy Cake can pull it off here in terms of doing a bit more work and not really just kind of hanging out, pushed back the site so early. We also saw him die a lot, and it just, I don't know, he was not super effective previously. So I'm definitely much more curious to see how that works out for this particular map. He did spot that drone and that drone as well, but we haven't really seen him actually use the new full auto gun so much yet, which is surprising because that's the big bonus now of playing Clash.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if Sexy Cake will rip it out. And once again, tower take seems to be Mocket's end game, as in the beginning on their initial attacking rounds, they were immediately transitioning from a tower take after they cleared out tower and killed Nesk or whoever was in the tower, and whoever his friend was. Then all of Mocket would transition to a front take, but now it seems like they're committing to the full back take from start to finish.
It is surprising to me that given the choice of any sites that Liquid would not go to dorms.
Yeah, as well, when you talked about both teams are 1 for 3 on the site.
Yeah, I would not pick the 30% odds. I mean, technically, Tower's even 50% odds for Rocket. Reloading. Gotta love how odds work, right?
Well, once again, we're coming down to 60 seconds remaining in a 5v5, which has been so indicative of all the games we have seen today. There goes an Evil Eye watching the hallway, dispatched by Corey, and smoke grenades and EMP, they all come flying.
See, I told you it's disabled now. He's done for.
Y'all see Paula trying to use that 81-round drum mag. A frag on either side as Veil takes down Zig, and Zig takes down Veil, so it was an actual trade, and back and forth, and there goes Cry, and trying to make it into the default plant spot, and he's going down. Corey, will take down Gohan as well as he tried to rotate in through the laundry. A great flick there from Corey, and he also downs off Sexy Cake. Nesk last alive, grabs one victim into KS, but he's got 3 left in a post-plant situation. Keep Liquid off of elimination point. Answers the phone call real quick and turns his attention back towards the hallway, creeping his way up. You've got a guy with top control, a guy in deep inside of blue, and a guy still playing inside of the electrical closet. Nitro's close to see if anyone was playing as an immediate corner. He got the hold off from the hatch as well, letting up the feet, able to down off and finish off Crying, but he's down to 2 HP now, pressing right up against the box wall. He's got 2 holding, turns the corner into the waiting arms of Rips, and Mocket will put themselves on match point and series point once again. A second opportunity at victory.
So Laundry, great choice, right, Liquid? Now they are 1 for 4.
And it'll now be Mocket's defense to try and lock things out. And I imagine they'll be taking our hint and heading to dorms. And that is immediately what they intend.
Would have been pretty funny if they picked Tower at this point or just dining. Just because why not, right?
I mean, dining would actually be pretty funny. I'd be okay with that.
You're like, it's dinner time. Let's just play dining.
A little past dinner time, to be honest. We've been going for a while.
Yeah.
We started at dinner time.
Well, Crying will sneak in that pulse there to be a little effective, but that's something he did last time, is bring that pulse for dorms. But he also wanted to make it look like he could be playing a different bomb site with that castle pick, so they wouldn't be sure if they were playing laundry or dorms. So we'll see. It looks like they went with the sledge, and I almost wonder if that sledge pick had anything to do with the castle play or not. But it's certainly not going to matter now because, I mean, he is still going to get the grenades out of it. So regardless, there is that, but he's not going to get a ton of use out of the sledgehammer unless, say, for example, you know, the far side of the attic is soft. He's able to open that up. You know, there are some situations where he could horizontally open something, but he's not really going to be opening anything vertically that's going to help him. And unlike Buck can't do it from underneath, that would have been a much better choice of an operator, I think. Not going to help him now, though.
5 seconds left.
So, Dorm's defense for Mocket to try and close things out once again. It was Mocket who were up, I believe, 6-3? No, 6-4, sorry. They had 6-4 advantage, could have closed it out twice in a row. They had to go to tower, they lost that. They had to go downstairs, they lost that. leads us into an overtime scenario. The only difference this time is that top floor is available to mock it.
Well,
compared to how it wasn't the last 2 times.
Like I said, if you're going off the fake imaginary odds here, then so far Dorms is 100% success rate for Mocket since they only played it once. So I guess there's that, right?
Smaller sample size, better success rate.
Right, that's how it works. I'll ask Splek after, I'm sure he knows.
Oh, just for the entirety of the...
No, I just mean in terms of telling you that's not at all how that doesn't work. Nest rotating around a lot here just to open things up, but not really getting in just yet. So the first minute spent just kind of saw things up, but Rip's at 50% health. Either something happened there with some team damage, or he just managed to get caught off guard. But Nesk is allowed to come into Armory again. This is potentially going to be a problem here, as he's fairly effective from here, but he has already burned off 2 of his flashes, only has 1 left. If he needs to try and burn off any ADSs, that might be on Zig to try and do so. They also have 2 sets of smokes, though, so that is something that could work in their advantage on the attack, as they have opened up the wall, and they have a lot of smoke to be able to potentially bait out C4 or other utility. So that's not a bad position to be in. They are going to look, oh, this is where the grenades come in handy, though, if there's no ADSs in there. But Rips is playing a dangerous game.
Doesn't look like Rips has any ADS cover right now, and a frag grenade being cooked by Gohan, but looks like that's going to go well deep and soar past the head of Rips and not connect.
The timing is going to be everything here.
He's going to peek up and over, another frag grenade goes deep and not going to land, and Rips will shut down Gohan. The first kill again in the final minute, and this could be the final round of the entire series. Nesk pushing down hallway, still has Rips to worry about inside of the attic. Lots of pre-fires in against the wall, none of them going to connect, as Rips still playing Pat in behind the sandbags. He's got a sea of Legion mines already set up on the entryway door. There's not a lot to be done here for Nesk pushing hallway. They have to go in through the breach hole in the closet. Paulo will take down one, but Krine will immediately trade him out. It's another advantage in the favor of Mocket. 25 seconds, and it's all coming down to this. Nesk pushing right past, but can't see Rips against the wall. Vale will take one down with the Nitro Cell. Oh, what a whiff there by Rips, and Nesk is able to clean that up. Sexy Cake's been down, though, and he has to go for the revive, just narrowly avoiding a Nitro Cell. Picking up Sexy Cake, a flank from down below. Krine coming up the main stairs. Nesk again eviscerating Vale. Down to a 2v2. KS, the SMG, close range! KS with the 1v2 clutch on site. Also had Krine on the flank, and Mocket will send Liquid to the loser's bracket for the second major